another episode of the Northwest Brewmeisters, riding for the Tim. We have the Tim. All right, so today we're going to do Cascade Pale Ale, which is another recipe from our local brew supply store. So we're not being adventurous today. But according to this, let me put my old man eyes. Kind of crooked. All right, where are we at? All right, so a nice drinking everyday pale ale featuring Cascade hops throughout the boil. All right, original gravity 1.051, final gravity 1.013, alcohol by volume 5%, IBU 41. So it should be good. Steeping crystals, steeping grains,
Half pound of Crystal 40 and a half pound of, what was the other one?
Carapils.
Carapils, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the 40 means, but that's what we have.
I don't know what Carapils means, so we're even.
I think it's a type of Pilsner style. That's what's going to give it like a pale look.
I'm sure that the Crystal 40 is probably something like that as well.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, 6.6 pounds of Pilsen light liquid malt extract. Hops 1 and 2, hops 1 at 60 minutes, hops 2 at 5 minutes, both of them Cascade hops. Yeast is First Choice Y Yeast 1056, which isn't that the same stuff we used in the Newcastle clone?
Possibly.
And then 5 ounces of priming sugar if we're bottling, but we don't bottle. Because not yet. We may, but not yet. All right, so the instructions are the same as they always are. Activate the liquid yeast culture.
That's happened already.
Okay, smack the pack.
Ideally, you should try to do that about 2 to 3 hours before your intended boil time, just to give the yeast time to do their yeast stuff and get activated. Even if you don't have time and you smack it right before you pitch it, it'll still work. It just might take a little while for the yeast to wake up.
And then we start with 3 gallons of water. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Is it on the bottom or
no? It's okay. Adjusting this.
So
on the bottom.
Since we already kicked this off, looks like we're going to start from a cold boil. So there's 2 styles of steeping, hot steep and cold steep, and we have yet to determine which one is better.
I can remove that if you don't want to do the cold boil.
What's that?
I can remove that if you don't want to do the cold steep.
I know, but then we'd have to hold it.
Put it back in there.
What? That's sacrilege. Are you crazy?
Yes.
Pour the water in, and I'm gonna go get the aim and flame. All right, so Steve's gonna be busy. I'm gonna be busy. Take it, Dad. All right.
I'm just watching.
So we'll start with our usual 3 gallons of water. This is just good old tap water from my house. We don't get too crazy with water profiles. Some people like to match the water for the regions. Some folks like us, we just want to drink beer and no things.
Right. We're still gonna get sued by HBO for that. You know this.
No.
No.
I don't think we can. We didn't copy the line exactly.
All right, who do we got? Sub for no reason, please. Hello. Thank you for coming to the broadcast. That was like 1 minute ago.
So I think based off those ingredients, this is going to be kind of like a Sierra Nevada style pale ale. That's what it makes me think.
We actually have a real viewer.
Wow. Hey, hello.
Wow, yeah. They are sub for no reason, please. Capital lowercase, capital lowercase.
Oh, the elite speak thing, I think is what they used to call that.
You know, I never understood. That seems like it would be so much work to do.
It was just for fun.
Kind of like this. This is a lot of work, and it's fun.
It's fun. It's not work when it's fun.
Sometimes work can be fun.
All right, 3 gallons of city tap water. Today we're going to cold steep, which means we're going to let this grain sack steep the whole time as it works its way up the temperature.
So crack the tank, turn that. So up is clockwise, cold is counterclockwise.
I'm not sure that tank's open.
Spin it, and like you can really crank that.
I don't think the tank is open. Oh, never mind.
That is.
Okay, sweet.
It's not the greatest regulator in the world. And you can just let it be hot for now.
Okay. Target temperature is anywhere between 150 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we'll get a basic reference temperature. And our water is sitting at 55 degrees, 56 degrees. Oh, actually, it's climbing pretty good now. Almost 60 degrees.
Okay, you should get one quick.
Oh, yeah.
So, where's your beer? Not much of your beer left.
These guys.
What do you do?
Oh,
What about them? Are they kind of warm?
no, they're not. That's the thing. They need to be a little bit warmer.
Look, we have a stagehand. Mama,
Yes. What do I need to do?
put them in warm water.
Oh, okay.
They're just, it's like warming molasses.
Yeah, it just makes it easier to pour later.
And
Okay.
Unfortunately, it doesn't make it any less sticky.
No.
That's the worst part. Always sticky. Get
So
to
now,
that-
I'm going to get the timer preset.
I can't see anything. Okay.
All right, we're at 30 minutes, which we're not going to actually start the timer yet. We need to let the water get to temperature first. But since we're cold steeping, this might add a little extra flavor, a little extra color in the end, which is fine. We used to cold steep all our beers, and we've been kind of switching back and forth to see if we notice a difference in.
We don't.
Which we don't. Yeah.
We don't.
And the opposite of cold steeping for us is we'll wait to get the water to temperature before we submerge. For anybody who's not sure what we're talking about. You have a question? Or, oh.
That was a question, dude.
I was like, you have a question, or is that a high five?
So cold. You start with whatever the ambient temperature is.
Right. Yeah, we start with whatever the water temperature is, and submerge the grains early, and then we'll just monitor the temperature until it gets to about 150, 160, and then we'll hit the timer for the actual 30-minute steeping period. And then we'll do our best to maintain that temperature by adjusting the heat as necessary to keep it.
So we met a guy named Mark who's like fanatical about this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was beyond the pale, but he made good beer, like won awards and stuff. And
With extract beers of all things, he won awards. Like,
yes, in fact, his acceptance speech for one of his awards was "Extracts, bitches," and then he said,
mic drop and walked out.
Mic drop.
Yeah, you got like the gold medal or whatever their award was. The number one place for a brewing competition a couple times.
because all grain brewing is considered to be like. That's like, wow, you really know what you're doing. You take just raw grain and turn it into beer
Yeah.
instead of those big molasses tubs that we had.
See, if we're gonna do that and make our own malts, we'd have to start brewing about 9 o'clock this morning.
Yes, and the camera would have to be even further back because there's more gear.
More gear. You boil your grains kind of like what we're doing here, but you don't actually keep them in a sock. You have them in the water, and then when they're done boiling and whatever your temperature sets are, you sparge it, which means you essentially just strain it out, and that's your malts. What's in there? Those are just dehydrated. That's why they're kind of syrupy and goopy. Because your malts are just your sugars, and that's what your yeast are gonna consume once we get to that point. So.
But when you do the all grain, right, it never turns into that molasses stuff. Right?
No, because you like that stuff we're using was in that form at one time. It's just been kind of dehydrated. That's why it's molasses.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the process is the same. Yeah.
By the way,
is the same.
Sub for no reason, please likes turtles.
Likes turtles?
Yes.
Okay. Turtles are good.
Turtles are good.
I like turtles.
All right, and this, Father, is what you call a troll. Now, there are two ways of dealing with trolls, Sub. One, we don't feed them. Or two, it's game on.
Right.
So bring it.
I like turtles.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So, I suppose we should talk about the beers that only I'm drinking now.
We are at 73.
Okay, I'm working on it.
I know.
All right, you want a beer X?
Either one, whichever one's convenient, man.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I prefer the X beer, but I do like the Kolsch as well.
I'll drink the other. I like that.
Jim's
Okay.
like, I'll drink the Kolsch. You drink
Okay.
the X beer.
So, here you go, man. Go ahead and do what you can do.
All
Pour yourself one of those.
So I'm pouring myself the X beer, as we're calling it, because this is a Kolsch style ale off of a recipe from our local brew supply store that we altered for if you've seen any of the prior of that. I can't talk to any of the prior episodes. We changed the hop schedule by one item. We added more hops at the 0 point, and then we added a citro hop to see how it would affect the flavor and the aroma. It has more of a obviously a citrusy smell and hoppy aroma. I think the flavor is good. I enjoy this, but I like the crisper finish, kind of not really grapefruit type, but citrusy finished beers. Whereas the regular Colts that Tim is drinking does not have that. It's more heady, more malty. What do you have in there?
I'm gonna have, I don't know what's the label. I'm gonna have X.
That's beer X,
which is what's in this glass already, so we're okay.
right?
How long does the syrupy stuff stick?
Oh, it'll go directly in here, but by having her put it in the water, just softens it for us.
Oh, sure.
Because there's like in the winter, a couple times we didn't turn it upside down.
It was like a blizzard from Dairy Queen. It just
It's
wouldn't
just
come
like-
out,
Come on, come out.
Yeah, so we learned by warming it up a little bit with hot water, leaving it inside, it'll soften it and pour a lot easier.
So basically, we learned what people who have been cooking have known
I know,
for
right?
hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. But we learned it.
We learned.
We're good at learning.
I always check different areas of the pot because the heat isn't always equally distributed, so sometimes you got to move it around a little bit to try to even it out.
You can also do the teabag thing where you go, bloop, bloop,
Yeah.
you get bloop, bloop. Go ahead, try it. You love it. Anytime. He's not gonna. Ah!
I can see how this could be an award-winning show. Really.
See? Thank you. Thank you. This is why we ride for the Tim, because he knows things.
He knows things. What does he know?
We're still waiting
We're
on our
getting there.
potential sponsors. We're sure
Yeah.
any day now we're going to
Any
be
day.
contacted
Any day.
by someone. They sponsor us and not broadcast. Look,
We're just gonna-
$1,000 a month. Just don't ever turn the camera on again. Not happening, man. We need to entertain Steve's nephew, our one loyal viewer. Who that might be him again.
I know.
You never know, because
Could-
it's not hard to change a title.
Could be trolling us.
Beer is good.
That-
Okay,
that is his style.
that is
troll
his
us.
style. His style.
What, to troll?
Well,
Yes,
to mess with me.
Yeah,
or,
he
you know,
comes
mess
in
with
and
them.
makes messages like this. He's still there. Sub for no reason, please, is still there.
All right.
I know, it's a recipe. So the recipe is, it's not super critical at this point because they're all the same and we've made so many. Like there's only two things that are important here.
The hop schedule. Pretty
The hop
much.
schedule. That's it. Everything else is the same.
Right.
Keep it between 150 and 160 for half an hour.
Yep.
And then add your sugars, your malts and everything. Bring it to a boil. Once it's at a boil, then you do your hop schedule. Once you're done with the hour boil, then you cool it as quickly as possible using the wort chiller.
Wort chiller.
Mm-hmm. And then you put it in the fermenter. And then you add the yeast. And then you put the water lock on. And then you wait. That's the worst part. We waited. Ah, man.
Yeah.
Why you gotta be dripping drops?
I know, right?
It's raining. It's raining. Of course it's raining.
By doing this Halo, this is probably the most forgiving recipe we could ever do as far as there's just so much range for things. We don't have to keep the temperature exact. We don't have to keep things right on the money. It's just a very simple, forgiving recipe. Any kind of Halo is really probably the easiest thing to do, I think.
Really?
It's good already. I like that.
Cool. I like pale ales. All right, Sub. What's got you confused? 4 question marks. Let us know. See, your nephew has done it to us. Now we're suspicious of every
I know.
single viewer.
This sub could be a legit person, like
Yes,
what
who
is
we're
he talking
insulting.
about?
Right, if you're legit, we apologize for all the insults. If you're Steve's nephew, we're coming for you. So anyways.
Yeah.
Now we wait.
You wait.
It's like making a big cup of tea.
Pretty much. It's
That
fun.
sounds good.
That's a fine
And
idea.
the stage crew leaves.
Or a cup of tea.
Ah.
And I've read that it's actually not pronounced wart, it's pronounced wort. Wort, even though it's spelled with an O, like a finger wart, you know what I mean, or hand wart.
Well, actually, fingerwort is W-A-R-T.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Wort.
Oh, okay. Wort. Go back to school.
But I would spell wort W-E-R-T.
Right. But no, I guess the pronunciation is wort for whatever reason, not wart.
I've also heard that it's pronounced true instead
Not
of shrub.
I think it's one of those tomato things, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably regional where you're from, you know. Any more comments?
Yes, I don't know who you are talking about. I don't know if I believe this person.
Where guys like, no, really, I'm not this cheese guy you keep mentioning.
You know what? Call your sister-in-law.
I know.
Find out where your nephew is right now.
Where's Chase? What is he doing? Is that his dad's? Okay. You know, I might just text her. Be like, Chase one, by the way.
Yes.
Sorry there, so we got to make sure that you know, we're not being trolled by my nephew, which is all good and fun. If you really are him trolling us, we enjoy the fun.
Actually, it's a pretty darn good troll job where he gets you to text his
I
mom
know!
while we're on camera.
All the work
just
I have
make
to
sure.
do just to
That's
make
you know
sure.
what? Props. Props. That is good trolling. That is good trolling. It's a skill. It's a skill. Some people are just jerks about it.
right. If this is you, you're gonna get busted. I just texted your mom.
Dude, you're in deep now, man. Mom's on the trail.
Poor sub's probably not him going, these guys are crazy.
What the heck? How do they know who my mom is? So it's similar to tea, by the way. You don't want to oversteep this stuff, and it's for the similar reasons because of the tannins that are inside there, and then it can produce off flavors.
Nothing.
What are off flavors?
See, that's the question. That's about as precise as like a shotgun at 500 yards. It's just like, I mean, provided the shot makes it 500
You're
yards.
gonna make
Right?
But the point is, it's just like it's like off. What does that mean? Sometimes they say it's green apple or barnyard. Tastes like a barnyard.
I've never licked the barnyard though.
What?
somebody knew this.
That's a different, yeah. We're all distracted by it. It's like, what? Ooh, comments. We should get like a giant monitor right next to
We
the
really
camera
do. We need,
so we can see all
need
this stuff.
something.
You know?
All right, hold on. Let's monitor. We'll use my phone.
All right, give us a second to
We
read up on the
we got
comments.
We got something here. All right, man. Nobody believes, but I'm paying $500,000 to someone that put me to talk with the Queen. Ha! Who is Edward Windsor?
I don't know.
Hi, Eddie.
That's a lot of money to talk with the Queen.
Which queen?
That's true. There's a lot of queens. Oops.
Do you have the right stream?
Yes.
This is about brewing beer. We're not queens. You know?
Not in any way, shape, or form. We don't do none of that. Nobody believes, but I'm paying $500,000 to someone that put me to talk with the Queen. You know, if you actually get to talk to, I'm assuming Queen Elizabeth.
That's what I'm
Because
thinking,
That's
yeah.
what people say when they mean the Queen.
Right.
Which, you know, if you're any other monarch, that's gonna be pretty insulting. It's like the whole world says the Queen. They never talk about me. It's like, well, it's because you're the queen of this little tiny postage stamp that nobody knows where it is.
Who still has royalty? Norway? They still have royalty?
The
remember.
Dutch,
Dutch.
Dutch still have royalty?
the Spanish do, I think.
Do they?
Yep, I'm pretty sure the Spanish do. I think the Dutch do. Denmark does. There's quite a few.
Greece? Greece used to have.
Did Greece have kings and queens?
Yeah, pretty.
We are at 120. Just went over 120.
I don't know.
Oh,
But what we have in the palm of our hand is all the knowledge of humanity, which we never use. We always
and this is
stare
what
at
we
each
do.
other.
We brew beer and talk about things that
Yes.
usually have nothing to do with brewing beer.
Yes. Sometimes we talk about brewing beer.
We do,
Like,
sometimes.
you're supposed to be teaching the Tim.
Yeah, but we're not on the next section yet.
Oh, yeah, we're kind of stuck here. At
Yeah,
the
we
roots.
kind of explained everything about this process. You know,
All right, so
without
let's
breaking
see.
it down to the actual molecules and things, you know, which I don't know that stuff.
How many
That's coming. I like the
countries
color of that. That's a nice gold.
still have?
Not getting much
Royal-
aroma off this one though.
Let's go do some
Has a nice
Royal.
color. That's definitely gonna be a nice.
Here we go.
golden pale ale.
Countries with royal families, 2021. Not a lot.
There's
Yeah.
6. No, I don't know. What do we have here?
Well, it's pretty close. I mean, seriously. Let's see.
Okay.
Current monarchs in Europe. You've got Andorra, Belgium, Denmark, Liechtenstein, which is just
That's-
fun to play.
that's like as big as a
Those
city.
are postage stamp.
Right. Luxembourg, Monaco,
Luxembourg. Monaco?
hmm
Wow.
the Netherlands, Norway, Spain, Sweden,
Spania.
Sweden does. I didn't know that.
the United Kingdom, England. Depends on if you're Scottish or Irish or English as to how much you
Well
want to
recognized.
recognize
about
that.
him either.
Yeah, well, Canada apparently loves her.
Oh, they do.
Canadians. You Canadians. I know
Yeah,
some of you
except for
Canadians
Quebec.
watch.
Didn't Australia have her on their money as well?
Yeah. Yeah,
New
and I
Zealand-
think
New Zealand, I think, is more British than Australia is. Well, those former penal colonies, you know, Georgia, United
Oh, yeah.
States. Oh, all that red clay peanuts gets to you after a while.
and then they call Pope Francis of Vatican City, if you want to call it. That's not really royalty though. Because it's not handed down through a family.
He's elected.
No, yeah, he's chosen by cardinals.
130. We're almost there.
All right. So, important thing to note is Queen Elizabeth II, perhaps the most well-known monarch, yada, yada, yada. She is monarch of 16 Commonwealths, including Australia, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Canada, Grenada, Jamaica, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St.
Papua New
Vincent
Guinea?
and the Grenadines, which sounds like some sort of weird, like, grunge rock band.
The Grenadines.
Indie pop.
We're the Grenadines.
Yeah, St. Vincent and that would be indie
Saint
pop.
Vincent and the Grenadines.
And the Grenadines.
That sounds like a band.
Indie pop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like badly tuned acoustic guitars with maybe one beat up Telecaster
The
that someone's
Grenadine
mother gave
Islands.
them.
They had a war down there with, what was it, Venezuela? No, Argentina.
Argentina. No, those are not
Those are
the
new
Grenadines.
comments.
Those are the Falklands.
Oh, the Falklands.
Comments.
I'm an Irish prince. Aha! That's why he wants to talk with me. That makes sense because nobody, including Wikipedia, recognizes you.
No, right?
That
That's
that
why
is
you got to
rough.
take a lot of money to convince somebody I'm a prince.
It's the Falklands. Or the Falklands are considered, but these are commonwealths though. So we're talking like these are places that have their own government, like Canada,
Oh, okay, right.
which the Falklands are just they're like Hawaii.
Well, they're contested. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
What did you do?
I put my beer down on a slug.
Oh,
You did.
that's funny.
Well, don't lick the bottom of the glass,
I'm
and you'll
not.
be all right. That's true.
135.
Edward would like us to know that without documentation, nobody believes you. It's very true. If someone,
Got the recipe.
yes, it's really.
You know, little breezes.
If someone came up to me and told me he was the Prince of Ireland, I wouldn't believe him either.
Yeah, it's just something you don't hear every day, you know.
Well, according to Wikipedia, there is no Prince of Ireland. There's only Queen Elizabeth.
But Wikipedia's been known to be.
She's been around
Correct.
a long time.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
I know that universities around here don't let you use it for as references in your papers. You know?
Your sister-in-law text you back yet?
No reply yet. From her.
Because Sub says that Luke, he is our father.
Luke.
By the way,
Is it
Luke,
Lukey or Loki?
I am your father was never in the movies. Look it up.
You never said that.
Oh,
Luke.
Luke.
Star Wars.
I some Lukey. I was like Lukey. Lukey. You know?
Luke guy is the Norse god that always getting in trouble with Thor and
Right. He's like a little troublemaker guy.
Wikipedia just tells lies. You're right. You're absolutely right. Wikipedia tells lies.
We are at 140 and climbing.
All right, so once he hits the target thing, then you dial it back and try to maintain.
Dial it back and we try to keep it within that little 10-degree range. Like I always start dialing it back a little sooner.
We got a turkey fryer burner outside.
It
With a
works
slide
well.
of
It
weed.
works.
It's fun.
It's a challenge.
Well, the thing is, one of the reasons that we kind of started over here, well, before we moved into Steve's garage, is that Steve's porch is like this magical wind tunnel.
Oh, bad.
It's like it'll be 20-mile-an-hour winds all over town, but Steve's porch makes it 50.
Ooh, Venturi effect.
Right?
So all of the heat from your burner just goes sideways.
Yeah. We would brew in dead of winter on my front porch. Freezing out there. It's almost ready.
It's almost
Both of us are hugging the brew kettle.
4 hours later.
4 hours later. And then I got my garage organized and cleaned up, and that actually makes a good brew spot when the weather's poor.
The only problem with the garage is the acoustics. Super echoey.
Yeah, it's because it's a garage. But I pull the car out and everything's set up. I mean, I really
Get a bunch of egg cartons. Just throw them all over the place. Suck up the sound.
Actually, you know what it'll suck up? 800 hertz.
Whoa.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious. So I was
I know what you're saying.
My father
Almost
does not
there.
share my passion for audio science.
145.
It's not audio science.
It is audio science. It
Let's
absolutely
go down
is science.
this rabbit hole. No, let's not. We just mentioned it. We don't have to explore the whole thing.
Dad, we have a 3-hour show. We need to talk about stuff. And if we got to talk about that, we talk about it.
Almost there, gentlemen.
We? Okay.
You are welcome to leave at any point. I will just kind of drag you back.
We've been almost a half an hour, and all of a sudden you're throwing me off the set. Wow.
I am not throwing you off the set.
Yes,
I'm just
you are.
saying.
You're
Couple more
inviting me
degrees.
to leave. Okay.
Couple more. You can do it.
To myself. Now is a fact.
So you got trolls out there.
Always. There's always trolls. If they're fun trolls, then you definitely play with them. If they're not, then it's just, you don't feed them.
Let it
then
go.
They get bored.
How do you dial this back? It's to
Oh.
the left.
So,
Counterclockwise.
yeah, I've been bringing it down a little bit at a time because we're almost there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't know without seeing it.
Oh, it's way down there now. I think it just went out. Oh, almost.
There you go.
No, we got plenty, but
Yeah, keep it right there.
Yeah, no, I can from my angle. I can see down
good.
there.
If you
So I was-
have view,
Yeah, I was dialing it down. When we hit about the 140 mark, I started bringing it down. We're at 147.
Seven.
Because as it starts to climb, you can zip right past your target temperature. If
Yeah.
you don't.
To help distribute the heat. That's why we do this a lot too. Just trying to get it moving around.
You can do this on your stove, by the way. Well,
We used to.
Mom makes wine, right?
no. Well, yeah.
Hey, the stage crew's back. Do you boil your wine?
No.
When you make it, or do you just throw grape juice in a jug, pitch some yeast in there, and cap it?
Yep.
Wow.
But it's
Well,
a
that's-
carboy with the air bubbles.
Yeah, but that's a lot less complicated than
Oh,
this.
Yeah, I don't think making wine is as hard.
Well, we stopped short
Then
of
why
jumping
do
in a
wine-
vat and stomping it down with a beer.
Why are wine people so snooty then?
Hey, is that a different?
There's
Another,
beer people who put much more work into their product.
Oh no, the wine guys.
I think.
they're a lot snootier.
Who just said they made it? I can't read the name.
That would be someone who is related to you.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hi,
maybe-
Chase. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in, man. Our loyal. Actually, you know what? We do appreciate you, Chase. And he's watching. So you can
So-
actually. This cool thing is there's these little things.
Oh, okay.
If you see the little red slash there,
Right.
which is the same as the red slash for sub for no reason, please.
Meet somebody familiar.
All right, we're at
Well, he's
150.
watching on YouTube.
We're at
Oh.
150. I'm going to start the timer.
So this is broadcasting to YouTube and to Facebook and to Twitter all at the same time. And then to Haps itself. Haps has its own viewing platform you can watch on this.
All right,
So
30
it's
minutes.
broadcasting to all those places. 30 minutes?
30
You hit
minutes.
it? You hit it,
Yep.
right?
We're counting down now.
All right. So now we wait.
We still got to watch the temperature because we usually have to tweak it a little bit as we go. Find that little sweet spot for it. 'Cause right now we're at 150. Yeah, just over 150, which is fine. 151 over that side. Yeah, be all right.
You mean to say thanks a lot or that's a lot? Because what you typed was that.
I agree. Wow.
Uh-oh.
How far behind is this?
They
What's
say
the lag?
they've improved, but it can be, at one point, it's up to like 15 seconds.
Yeah,
It can
there's
be-
definitely a delay. Yeah.
And you just got to be patient. It's just like you figure it out. I mean, you were never able to tell Tom Brokaw that he slipped up, were you? Right through the TV.
If you want
Yo,
to
Tom,
if you
that's a
wanna-
mistake.
if you want to test it out, if you look at the computer screen, watch how wave. You can see there's a delay there.
Watch over here. Watch over here.
Was that much longer?
Wait, there.
No, it's there.
Three.
Yeah.
So about
Yeah.
3 seconds.
Yeah.
But here's
Better than
the
it used to
thing.
be.
Here's the thing. That's the lag to here. But what's the lag to Mom's phone? Or what's the lag to Chicago?
Right.
Chi-town?
Yeah. Well,
These guys
seriously.
in Chicago? Are you in Chicago? Are you in Chicago? Wow.
No. He does the same thing we do. Are you? I mean, are you? We used to
Camera's
do-
that way.
I know.
We always don't look at the camera.
I had a master's degree course, and the instructor was really good, but was really technically inept.
Challenged?
Yeah, but he was a really good theater professor and stuff. And he would be using some sort of remote, and he would look at the screen. He said, "No, the projector's over there." He never got that too much. So yeah.
So anyhow, Chase is just down in town. He's in Oak Harbor right now. He's watching over by Steve's house probably. And then
The temperature.
if
And she sits
sub
along
for
the
no
next-
reason,
next door, right?
if sub for no reason is not Chase, then who knows where they are. And
The other
Edward
side of that is you don't care
You could ask him.
too much.
and Edward Windsor is somewhere
He might
else
be in
completely.
Ireland. He said he's-
He does say he's an Irish prince.
With Windsor as the last name, pretty British.
But Ed's got a point there, Ed.
Versus Irish, Bubba.
Well, maybe he was
You
like,
can't even escape with a Welsh thing with that one, man. The
maybe,
House of Tudor. Tudor.
maybe he was kidnapped and taken to England,
Maybe.
and they gave him that name, and then he escaped.
Wow.
Kind of like
More
St.
like a
Patrick.
curse.
Maybe. All right. Now we
I
wait.
don't know. Haven't we been waiting?
We've been waiting. I just thought I'd remind everybody we're waiting still.
We're waiting.
We're still waiting.
We're still waiting. In case you forgot.
Okay, Sub for No Reason says they're from Idaho.
Hey, it's
Sweet.
pretty close. Yeah.
I think that is cool. What part of Idaho?
Orofino.
Or where's Orofino?
Right in the middle. And the Clearwater River goes right through it because I have
Did
floated.
you float through that?
Yeah.
How did I know this? How did it? Well, you wouldn't know how I know this. You know, they wouldn't know. I'm making assumptions
Comes
here.
out of the bottom of the Waukesha River and just hooks up with the Selway, and then they go straight across the middle of the chimney or the panhandle and comes out at Lewistown. Been there.
See, I told you, Ed was kidnapped. It says
Oh,
it right there.
dude.
Born in Ireland, got kidnapped. See? Taken to England, given an English last name, escaped, sent back to Ireland.
Okay, but isn't Windsor the royalty's last name?
Well, yeah,
If you're going to be kidnapped, I think it's ideal that you be kidnapped by royalty.
well, it is ideal, but Moses was kind of kidnapped by
He
royalty,
was.
Oh,
and he chose to ditch it all.
Yeah.
Why can't Ed? Ed's the next Moses, the Moses of Ireland.
Oh.
All right, that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, well, no, beyond the stretch, that's like sci-fi.
Alternate reality.
Yeah, alternate reality. What would happen if this had
Alternate, I
changed?
could agree with. Reality, I'm not so sure.
Well, alternate realities aren't real, but they're alternate. I don't. Why you gotta get technical?
Because I am the grammar queen.
You are the grammar queen.
Dialed in.
Still maintain. Yeah. Good job. 54. It's a little uneven, but that's all right. It's gonna happen no matter what we do. Yeah, we did a brew on my electric stove. I have a glass top at the house. Yeah, that was terrible.
I was going to say that.
Never, it was doable, but never ever want to do that again.
No, you want
It
flames.
takes-
You gotta
Yeah,
have flames.
gotta have
It's
flames.
Consistency and
And that's why we went back to using these things, and then I bought another one that's at my house. And so yeah, we always use propane and stand burners.
Real cooking requires real fire.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yes. That's.
Unfortunately, we don't have gas in my neighborhood though. So yeah, that's,
You can put propane in.
I know.
It'd be really weird to have propane tanks in town.
this
was-
would be the way to go.
So there are certain towns down in Seattle is looking at passing laws so that they can't put natural gas lines to any houses.
Okay.
It's like
Why?
Safety thing or
because they believe they're going to save the environment by preventing people from cooking well.
wow.
Because flatulence?
Flashlights.
You got too much gas.
There you go. Haven't you heard about cow farts warming up the whole world?
Oh man.
I would say there's a lot more people than cows.
I'm not seeing any evidence of the world being warmed up right now.
Okay, so yeah, it's not too warm here.
I really don't like this fan.
I was kidnapped.
By the hooligans!
I'm just going back to that, man. That was a stretch to begin with, but
Football
wow.
players?
What's that?
You said hooligans.
Oh yeah, Ed was.
I said
So-
what, football players? Hooligans, yeah, football players. Or not football fans, I mean, excuse me.
And
Hooligans
the
are
people
football
that
fans?
kidnapped me
Football hooligans,
are
you know?
Hooligans.
oh hooligan
We're talking about European football, so hooligans, football fans.
football
Is
fans.
that what they're called?
Some of them are. Yeah, the rowdy ones are not. I think they're called football hooligans or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Look at that.
Well, you get the rowdy sports fans, and,
Right.
and over in Europe, where football is a big thing. Some of those fans get pretty rowdy.
Well, yeah, they kill people.
Yeah.
Wait,
I believe
that's,
they're- I believe
that's
they're-
South America more
I
than-
believe we call them
Europe.
soccer hooligans, but that's not the right word for over in
You're
Europe,
right.
the UK. You know what I mean? So that's why I said football hooligans.
I mean, we got cheeseheads and the
Right, cheeseheads. Yeah.
Seahawk. Those folks are pretty. What do you call it? Zealous.
Zealots?
Yeah.
Patriot fans are a little overzealous too, man. They're
Yeah.
a little rowdy.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And it's always interesting how folks adopt professional. They're the warriors of that area, and so you need to
No, it's just obnoxious.
you need to attach yourself to that. But it's like, you got any other clothing that doesn't have the team logo on it, including your underpants? Come on, man.
Woo! Yeah, that's a little over the top, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then some people go as far as getting tattoos of their team logos and stuff. Yeah.
There was a priest that got removed from his parish because he took, and it was down in Seattle somewhere, but all those, well, maybe you don't because you're not religious, but in like high liturgy churches, they'll have kind of like banners or cloths.
Sure,
right,
I know
that-
you're
that
talking
hang
about
on things and
draped
stuff.
over stuff. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
Tapestries.
yeah, the tapestries and whatever.
Don't tell
Yeah,
me about
he-
a football team or something.
Yep, Seahawks all over
In the church, huh?
all over there. And the archbishop caught wind of that and said, "You're done."
Bye bye, Bubba.
Well, there's an archbishop with no sense of humor.
Yeah, because he was a Broncos fan, man.
That was good.
I don't know.
Ooh, look at that.
Ooh, somebody's
I
actually.
know we get all
tuning
excited.
in.
We get all excited when real people talking. We're like,
Look at that.
2 people there.
Seven whole viewers. This is pretty cool. Let's see. This comment has been hidden by our spam vulgarity bot and is only viewable by moderators, which is really
it
weird
should be
because I
you
would
because
think
it's your
Oh.
account.
We have not been vulgar.
no, but
No,
apparently young Edward Windsor, the Prince of Ireland, who is kidnapped and
By
whose
hooligans.
last name is York Spencer on his passport, was vulgar or spammy. Are you trying to sell us things, man? We don't want to buy stuff.
He's
dude,
probably
man, this
telling
is
us to,
fine.
you know, kind of
That was low. Low,
Yeah.
Spunky.
We can let it roll.
Let it roll.
Let it roll.
Go ahead. We're making beer. You can.
That's right.
Whatever
You can be
Yeah.
vulgar. We don't care.
You should have a beer.
I know, right? Have a pint, man. Have a pint.
Yes. Speaking of beers, who needs a beer?
I always need a beer,
That's true. Oh, you need a beer.
and we are
Okay.
maintaining optimal temperature.
You done my beer?
This is
That's
Yes.
that's a regular one. Non-X beer.
Awesome, right there. Hey, after the whole brewing process and yada yada, what do you want for dinner?
Beer.
Well, it's gonna be
No.
on the menu for sure.
For sure.
we could like go get some stouts or some heavy beers. You know,
How
they're
about some
filling.
nutrition?
What?
That's the right one.
I was like, what are you? Like a drop went in there. I was like, no, man.
That was punishment.
I'm gonna have the X beer this time.
X beer.
I'm bouncing back and forth.
And yes, this is beer we made about 6 weeks ago. So we are enjoying it.
Oh yeah,
This is a
actually,
Kolsch style ale. If you're tuning
as
in later, haven't
ridiculous
seen the
as
previous
this
ones.
looks, it really is good beer. Really good beer.
We actually have 2 batches we made. One of them is off the recipe. The other one that I'm drinking and that Jamie's drinking is based off a change in the recipe that we made. You're
Still right in the target,
right in the middle.
Well done, young man. Well done.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
When do you need that?
So, when his timer goes off,
Ah,
then we you take that out, and then we can talk about rinsing or not rinsing, and squeezing tea bags and not squeezing, and things like that, because it's something to talk about.
Right. By the
All right,
way,
so
we're
where do
at
you get the 6 gallons? You have 2 other gallons over there off
3 other gallons, yeah.
set. So
Standard beer home kit will make a 5-gallon batch. So we always fill up 6 gallons of water because you're going to lose some during the
of
boil.
course, yeah.
And so when we get done with all this part and we finish everything, we put it in the big glass carboy, which is still sanitizing. It won't quite be to the 5-gallon mark. And
Yeah.
so that's why we have the 6-gallon to help, get it up.
So that just equalizes.
Equalize it, yeah. Because what we'll do is we'll put about 2 gallons in the carboy, and then when this part is all done, we'll pour this into that 2 gallons, and then whatever needs to go in there, we'll top it up. And so that's why we always have 6 gallons, just to ensure we have enough
So you're
water.
not watering it down, but you're just instead of using all of the liquid at all at once, you
Right.
create the basic.
Create the base in this, and then add the water at the end, and then let it ferment and
Yeah.
do its thing.
I like that.
Now we could increase the size, but we'd need larger fermenters or more.
No,
we would need-
that
Right.
goes from home
Then
to
you have
commercial.
Then it becomes commercial, and by law, at least in the United States, I can't attest for the other parts of the world, but in the United States,
All right.
you're legally allowed to produce up to 5 gallons of beer without it becoming a distribution type thing or commercial level thing. So
Oh, really?
yeah, that's
Public
actually law,
health and taxation, which
right? 'Cause
nobody cares about public health, but man, they think you're taking their money.
right. And so yeah,
Good
5 gallons is
deep.
what we're allowed to do legally without having to have any kind of
I like that.
licensing or
5
distribution.
gallons here, 5 gallons here.
Okay.
More over
Okay.
there, and then a couple down in the field.
Wait. We owe Ed an apology.
We do.
We do. Okay. We're sorry, Ed. At least you do, because you called Ed uncool.
When did I call
Sorry,
him?
Ed.
Because Ed didn't really say anything mean or nasty. Ed said, Hooligans are gang leaders from Poland, Hungary, Germany. Many of them involved on sports and fights. That's all
That's
they
what
said.
that's what I was referring to.
Right.
I'm the one who said hooligans. You know.
Yeah. No, but that's what Ed thing and the automatic spam,
Oh,
the vulgarity thing nailed.
That doesn't make any sense because there's nothing vulgar about what he said.
There's
Yeah.
nothing vulgar, man.
So, we didn't do that. The system did that. Just so
Yeah,
you know, we didn't.
that
we didn't
was an
censor
automatic thing.
we didn't censor your comment. So,
Bad algorithm.
I
However,
mean, seriously.
what we don't take back is that you should have a beer.
Yeah, you should have a
dude,
pint.
yeah,
Have a pint. Depending, how old are you?
I know, right? Well, then again, I don't know.
Well,
what the
he's
drink-
in Ireland,
I don't know
right?
what the drinking age is in Ireland. I think it's 20. Is it
Well,
20 or
I
19
keep
over there?
good at 10.
I don't know.
11,
I know
maybe
I know
12.
some of the countries I visited was 18 still when I was in the Navy. You know, so
Well, I know that England actually has a drinking limit. You can't
Right.
just go traipsing into a bar at the age of 4 and order a beer.
no. I've been to Ireland one time, and it was in 1996, and I want to say it was April.
Yeah.
So
When did you go in the service?
oh no, it wasn't April. I'm sorry. I joined the service in '95. And no, it was not April. I'm sorry. It was July because, interestingly enough, when we were visiting, we were near Dublin. We weren't in Dublin. We were near Dublin. Dunleary is where we were actually. It was July 4th, so it was our independence. But some of the places we visited, the folks there in Ireland actually celebrated 4th of July with us as the American sailors visiting. They kind of put up stuff and.
Any excuse
Yeah.
for a party.
I
Sell
know,
beer. Hey!
So I had a great time in Ireland. It was
Oh, I bet.
it was beautiful, you know.
I've been to Ireland. I saw the inside of the duty-free zone of
Oh.
Cork Airport.
You got
Oh,
stuck in the
fuck.
airport.
I did.
Yeah, we were anchored.
And
It was
then-
interesting. Check this out, man. We were anchored about 3 miles out off the coast there of Dunleary, which is, if you look at like a map and you have Dublin, Dunleary is just a few miles away, but
Mhm.
you don't see a difference. You just, if you get on a bus or something, there's no change. It's like driving down to Seattle with all the outlying areas. It's the same thing, you know.
Suburban.
Yeah, you don't see any
community.
change in the terrain. But anyway, the pier was in Dunleary.
Uh-huh.
Well, we were anchored about 3 miles off, so it took a while to get to to shore. And they sent out these huge, like 500-person ferries, multi-deck ferries.
Yeah.
They had bars on the ferry.
Nice.
Mind blown. I got on there. I was just like, oh, we could have a beer on the way to the shore, you know. And so, of course, we were having beers and getting primed and having fun.
Prime.
I was an airman.
Right.
I was an airman then, so I'll let
Who
you.
was-
I'll let you figure that one out.
Who's the airman then? Wow,
This
he
guy
got
was.
tagged again. What the heck?
Yeah, hey,
we didn't
Ed,
do
we're
it,
not,
buddy.
we're not
That
doing
wasn't
it.
us.
It's the system, man.
We're looking at the laptop right there.
Yeah. It's not
Okay,
us,
so
brother.
there we go. I'm not on Ireland. My father wants me to return alone to prove his blood. So, where are you? Laughy face, laughy face. All right, now we got laughy faces. Laughy faces. What's going
The
on?
problem is we have.
You're trying to
nobody's
join
telling
the
truth.
army. It doesn't
I know,
matter.
it's fun. It's fun.
It's good. We're drinking beer. We're brewing beer. It's all about beer in Ireland. Which, by the
By the
way,
way-
Ireland is expensive to get across. $500 to get from Ireland to England.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, like jump on those ferries and get across. Well, that was
What about the train? Doesn't that train go under the?
no,
Channel?
that's
the
to
channel.
France. No, that goes to France. Ireland's on the other
that's right.
side.
That's right.
I have a feeling that the chunk of water between Ireland and England is bigger than the chunk of water between England. You never hear about people swimming from Ireland to England.
Probably the water's really cold. You know what I mean?
Well, you hear about people
It's
swimming
rough.
from.
Yeah, I've heard people swinging the channel.
Yeah, let's swim the channel.
It's like
Try.
world record type stuff, you know.
Which I find really dumb. Why would you do that?
Well, I just saw an ad, or not an ad, but an article of a woman who rowed from the U.S. to Hawaii, like rowed a boat all the way.
Wow.
And she wants her next endeavor. She wants to row from Japan to San Francisco in this rowboat.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, took her 80-something days, and she actually broke the last world record to get from the U.S. or from the mainland to
They
Hawaii.
usually have
Yeah, that's a world.
chase support boats.
I think so. I
They
think there was
always-
helicopters and stuff that were kind of keeping an eye on her, but she spent 80-some odd days out there just rowing away.
Because a lot of those
Capsized
things,
twice, apparently.
You know,
they've got oars, but they're enclosed little cabs and stuff.
Yeah,
It's not like open.
There was a
boat.
picture of the boat. It was the oars were outside on
Pizza!
the frame, but there was also like a safety enclosed area. So
well, you know old Eco Greta, right?
no,
Greta Thunberg?
no.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Not
dang.
personally.
I don't know the name. I don't know.
You don't
the
know
name.
Greta Thunberg? Bird?
No.
Well, how dare you, girl?
I know, right?
Yeah.
You don't know her? Wow. I thought everybody.
She's a teenager that has
Swedish or
achieved
something.
Oh, wait.
incredible international.
Is she the one that said shame on you to those people?
She said, "How dare you?"
she's
That's
the
why
whole
Wendy said, "How dare you?"
environmental,
Oh,
green
now I
thing.
recognize the name.
Yeah, so anyhow,
She's autistic.
to prove her point,
I didn't know she was this.
well, kind of.
Well,
autistic.
not to Asperger's, but she's
Yeah.
brilliant.
She's high functioning autistic.
Okay, no, it came back. Now I recognize the name now.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was somebody historical when the way you were saying it. You know?
Well, she will be historical, whether it's laughing stock or famous environmental
Timo
champion.
and
Well, Jaime's going. Timo should be going eventually because they're going to
Oh, they're
his
going to
job.
work, aren't they?
what about
Perfect
I
temperature.
don't know where he is. I don't know. Okay, this is in any
But we
case.
have less than 10 minutes left, by the way.
In any case, yes, Greta made a point about sailing, and so she sailed from wherever she is from,
Oh, she didn't want to
York.
fly, burn
Right.
up all the gases and all that stuff.
and then paid immense crews to cart her boat back wherever.
Right, which burned all kinds of,
Yeah,
you know, oils and things, and
yeah.
dumped
it
whatever in the
was-
ocean the whole time.
It was really talk about virtue signaling to the extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you could have just flown over and saved it.
Pretty much. All right, so we're getting close. I've been hearing about at the little 5 or maybe 3 minute mark. I'll go grab the malts and we'll get ready to do that. We're gonna need a spatula and a
Scoop them out.
What'd you say we're at?
Oh, we don't need a spatula. Never mind.
Where we at there?
So we have about
3 to
8
5
minutes left.
minutes.
Almost 8 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'll go get the stuff.
So we'll just need not a spatula, but a ladle. Ladle.
Right.
We used to use a spatula. We stopped doing that.
Yes. And we also used to use the spoon. And somebody who's not me often burned me with not quite boiling grain tea.
Just holding the jar wrong.
I'm back.
That was so well timed, man.
Yep.
He steps out, man, and then the zinger on the way, man, right between the blades. Shoulder blade. Bang! Somebody.
You'll get me back. And that's how we do this. We always jab each other and have fun. Any new comments? I can't tell. Mold, I can't see it. It says, I freak and fun, but that's why I'm not on Ireland. Latest comment from
Yeah, I read that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and my internet connection is good. Thank you, Haps.
Oh, they're gonna tell me that the connection died. I was like, oh, really? It's happened to us before.
That has happened to us. The best way would be to hard line in, but
Right?
that's a lot of Cat 5 cable all the way across the house.
Didn't I give you like 80 feet of that stuff?
Yeah, actually you did. And it's down in the basement. We could do it.
I mean, nah, I just kind of had an afterthought. I'm like, or something.
Yeah,
You set up your studio.
I used to
6.5 minutes.
I got it. I used to.
I'll be right back.
All right, Steve, you got it.
Yeah.
It's all you.
Well, so brewing, you brew it all. So, see?
And entertain them.
Are you not entertained?
I'm entertained.
Right.
Not that it matters.
I'm just cold.
So for those of you interested in brewing, we're down to the last 6 minutes of our steeping. So it's kind of like steeping a giant tea bag, essentially. We're gonna pull the muslin stalk out, let it drain, and then we'll take the wort off the fire, and we'll start adding our malts in here, which are off camera at the moment because we're keeping them warm so they can pour easily. And you'll see what we mean once we get to that process. It's like trying to pour molasses. So
Kind of keeping them warm.
kind of, that's all right. It'll work. Oh, they're out there.
Yeah.
I didn't see them.
They
over there.
were in nice warm water.
No, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Plus, we'll add some of this into the jar and shake it real well, and it'll work. You'll see.
Oh, Mama, did you get us a ladle?
Okay.
Ladle.
All right, 5 minutes.
Does it need to be sanitized?
No, because this stuff is going to be boiled for an hour. So
Yeah, that's fine.
we're pretty safe right now.
Yeah, the only time where the sanitization is really an issue is if it's where the yeast is going to be. And those are the important areas that we can sanitize the most. Obviously you want to clean your pot, you want to clean your spoon, but household, I'm talking to you, household dish items, dish soaps and stuff are fine for sanitizing your boiling equipment. But wherever you're going to ferment and what's going to potentially come in contact with that fermentation, is where it's most important that you sanitize. We just use bleach, or sometimes we use a special food grade kind of chemical cleaner. So we'll get to that eventually.
Could use boiling water if we wanted.
Yeah.
Like boil it for 10 minutes.
Well, we talked about bottling and doing a classic, canning style.
I was thinking, the only problem with that though
What's that?
is pouring. So you've got hot bottles and pouring cool liquid into these hot bottles,
Right, they might shatter. Yeah.
which would be
A little
dramatic.
cool. You know.
And you could, really,
So,
you can only do so much.
perfect.
Yeah, that'll work. I got
You
it.
got it? Okay. Yeah, 4 minutes. And counting.
From the outside.
Ladle. Put you over here. See, now that the carbonation's even out after it's been poured, it does fine, I think.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, that's good. You did a good job on this one.
It's just really sad that you got to pour a glass of beer and then wait 20 minutes.
Wait for it. All right,
All
we're
this
brewing.
waiting.
What's that?
All this waiting.
Yeah.
When
lots
we
of
could
waiting.
be building fences.
This is important, Mom. We have an audience.
Temperature is good. We've actually maintained almost smack dab in the middle this time.
So we should be.
All right, 2 minutes, or excuse me, 3 minutes and counting. A nice kind of dark gold to it. I think once it's all diluted out with the water and done, it's going to have a nice golden. Some pale are dark, some are lighter.
Unlike that amber IPA that we brewed.
I know, right? Wow, this is all be dark, but it's okay.
Oh, what do you mean my internet connection is unstable?
Unstable.
It's fine. We're good.
You have Comcast out here?
You have Comcast.
Yeah. So do I, unfortunately.
I don't have the problems that you guys have had. The only problem I've had is their sneaky rate
Yeah.
increases.
Yeah, I've already called and made some comments. I had to call them again on my last bill. I keep getting charged for rental equipment I don't have.
That's right, because you have your own
I
modem.
have my own modem, and I've told them over and over, I have my own gear, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we can see that, but then the next bill comes out, that charge is back on there. So every month, the last 2 months of calling and complaining, they've been refunding that $14, but they keep guaranteeing, quote unquote, oh, we guarantee it won't come back. We'll see what happens.
Maybe they just like to talk to you.
I doubt it. I'm not rude or anything, but I'm just like, I've had this conversation before. I make sure I let them know that.
I like talking with you.
You
I mean, we brew beer and talk things and talk and
right?
let other people. They're pleasant to talk to. I don't know why they wouldn't make them to. That's kind of an assumption, thinking they don't want to talk to you.
That's true. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I doubt it.
I know. I'm just going with it.
No. So they did do a rate increase that I did not complain about. Ooh, 1 minute. 1 minute. All right. They did a rate increase because it was reasonable. It was like from $78 to like $80.
Right.
It's like, okay, things get more expensive in life. The one I complained about was like the $79 or $78 to like $120.
Right. What?
I was like, what? But we gave you this, we gave you that. Did I ask?
Did you ask for it?
that? Did I say, hi, I'm this intense gamer with no life. All I do is stare at my video screen, and lagging causes me great anxiety and depression, so please give me the best. No, I think when I called you, I said I stream YouTube videos and check my email. I don't need the top of the top. I want
Right.
this level. So how about you undo all that and give me my money back? And they did. So, but
I'm
I'm
glad they listened at least. You know.
yeah, I really didn't have. Wait, we got another comment. What's this say?
Let's say for any of our friends who are outside of the United States, I hope you don't have the same cable internet provider woes we do.
I don't think the South Koreans do.
Probably not. I've heard South Korea's got like some of the best internet on the globe, literally.
I've heard they have the best
The
internet
best,
on
yeah.
the globe.
I don't doubt it.
I
And that's really good internet as well.
don't know. The last time I was in South Korea, I didn't have a cell phone or anything, so I didn't really
Neither did I.
take advantage of it.
I haven't been to South Korea in probably 15 years or plus.
Yeah, about the same, man. When was the last time you were there? I only went once.
Well, my last deployment was 2013, but I don't remember going there in 2013 though.
I went to,
Focus.
well, this Ed was like, you don't know how exhausting when you know your real name, you have money, but you can't touch it before go to Europe. Oh yeah, that's frustrating, for sure. Here's the part I hate. It's
Getting it over.
the sticky part. Don't get sticky. Don't get. Oh no, I touched it. Oh, I'm gonna be sticky.
We're gonna make your chickens happy again.
You just chuck that over there in the grass and.
Check it.
All right. Are you ready?
I am not. All right. There you go. Green sack for you.
Just chuck it. Just straight down.
We actually seen this on perfect. Not really.
What's that?
Not really. It's kind of cut out of the scene. But...
Pretty close. It's close enough.
All right. So what we're doing now is pouring our malt into the wort, and all this is essentially the sugars from malted barley and whatever else went into this. Yeah. Not quite sure what this one is made from, but
Probably barley.
mostly barley, I'm sure.
Ingredients:
Barley.
Pilsen malt, Terrapils malt, and water.
Take a ladle
Color:
or two, put
number
it in
8
there. And,
Play-Doh, number
rinse
2
out the
Lovey
jar.
Blonde.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's what we do.
oh, good.
And hopefully, Steve doesn't burn me.
You want to do yourself?
Yes, I do. Didn't know how dangerous making beer was until Steve dumped hot grain tea all over my hand.
It's only 150 degrees. It's fine.
That's hot! I mean, it's not quite scald you hot, but it's not comfortable, unless you're my mother, who apparently could probably walk on the surface of the sun
On the
and be
table.
okay.
Wow. Walk on the surface of this.
I'm wondering if this need for him to have all these brewers is because of a lack of attention from his mother when he was small.
Could be. Very well could be.
Although the way I remember it, I couldn't take my eyes off of you for a second
Then why did you?
without something disastrous happening.
Oh, you were that kid.
I was.
The moment you look away, all of a sudden there's a sharp object in your hand, and you're running. You know?
Or
Or you climbed up somewhere.
I may have climbed a water tower or two in my youth.
Yeah, warm that up. See how nice it is? It's going in so nicely, actually.
A lot easier to pour.
Oh, I know, right?
Thank you for warming this up, Ma.
Absolutely. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Right.
I'm all about anything that's warm right now.
I know it's June and we're all cold. You know what's wrong with this picture?
yeah, when we drove across central Washington, it was 88, 90 degrees.
I'm looking forward to getting back there.
Oh no. I gotta admit, I don't mind. I much prefer the cold. I do not like excessive heat at all.
I would rather be too cold than too hot because I can add more layers.
Or turn up the heat.
Or turn up the heat, but I don't know, I'd still rather be hot.
And of course, we take it off the heat because this stuff will go to the bottom and then scald, which would produce the famous off flavors. Burnt beer.
Burnt beer.
Yeah. There we go. It's sticky. It's sticky. It's sticky. We'll pick it up later. Well, this isn't going to be too foamy. Man, the last one we did, the Newcastle that only used dry malt, it was like that much foam on top. Trying to see. We couldn't see if it was boiling because there was so much foam. It's like, is it boiling yet? I don't know. It's just foam. Seriously, just tuck it there. It'll be fine. And now we can put it back on the flame. And the next step is to get it boiling. And you want a rolling, not a roiling boil.
That's semantics.
No! Roiling is like violent.
Yeah.
Rolling is like rolling. So, you want like a class 1 rapid, not a class 5.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. We'll use language you can understand. I think that's all. That's all the malts that we had. There weren't anything else. Yep. We got one of these recipes, and it said, add all the fermentables. And we're like, all right. So we added everything, stirred it up. And then it says, do this, and then it says, at this point, now add this malt. It's like,
Rats.
Here's a classic. Cut the blue wire. Clip. After you unplug the thing. Oh. We're in trouble. So now we bring it up to a boil. And once we get to a boil, then we set a timer. Once we set a timer, then we so don't throw those in the garbage. Oh, what's that for?
I was going to pick up that stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. That you can throw in the garbage. Go ahead.
The plastic ones you don't throw in the garbage.
Yeah, they're probably recyclable, so we'll throw them in recycling and take them out that way. Which is funny how we recycle after making fun of all the eco people. Beer's kind of full, man. Welcome back. What you got? Oh, the hops. Nice.
So we lost our water again out of the sink, but I have a solution. I used the bin that your mom used to keep those warm, and I put all our stuff in there that needs to be sanitized and put some bleach in it with cold water. So We
Okay,
won't lose our water anymore.
that's good.
So we don't really need to use the sink anymore. We can just use that bin.
Oh yeah, that does work. I mean, because especially consider what needs to be sanitized isn't really big parts.
No, it all fits in there nice and easily, and we are good to go. All right.
You know, my dad bought that bin.
Ah.
Because
Well, that was a
he doesn't
good
like the way we
choice.
wash dishes.
Oh,
Oh, the dish pan.
Yes.
let me get our timer ready for 1 hour. We are ready.
To be fair, I don't like the way we wash dishes either.
Oh.
But happy wife, happy life. So we wash dishes the way she wants to wash dishes.
Okay. Gotcha.
She does the run the water thing. So it's like all of the excess water of a dishwasher and all of the hard work of washing dishes by hand.
Always.
Actually, I don't know how inefficient dishwashers are. How inefficient are they?
I don't know.
Do they use a lot of water?
I really
I
don't
mean,
know.
I think so, because that's how they wash, right? Is by power blast and everything. That's it, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a little soap tray in there, or you can pour powdered soap in there, or liquid soap, or little packets.
Yeah. I don't know. Our dishwasher, Jaime put a Matchbox car in the dishwasher, and then Dad turned it on, and then it died.
Yeah, I don't know exactly if the water's continuous.
You remember that?
I don't know if it's continuous or if it
I know.
reuses
I
the
thought it
water.
was working, but
It was working. It was working. And then, but Jaime had like some sort of cars or something. Anyhow, I do remember you turned the dishwasher on, and I don't think I was there, because I don't know if it made all sorts of horrible noises. But I do know it stopped working, and we kind of took it apart a little bit, and it was broken, and there were pieces of toys down in the gears underneath the little rotating
took care of
one.
that.
Probably spotted it out, you know.
Yes, it definitely foughted it out.
how did you?
Foreign object damage.
Look at that boy go.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want to know what's really cool is when it's sometimes when it's in the primary fermenter, if you lift up like the sunblock skirt that you have on it and look at it, it moves that much inside the jar with no heat. It's just doing
All the
that.
roiling, yeah. It's alive inside.
It is alive. And you know, they say it'll be up to 10 degrees warmer inside the fermenter than it is
What's
wherever you
registering
keep
on
it.
the? Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if it's on that thermometer thing or if it's just the ambient
Well, I
air
mean,
around it.
Glass does. You know, it conduct. I don't know if that's the right word, but it does
Yeah, conducts heat.
conducts heat. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
So I imagine what's on the fermenter is accurate to what's inside there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll put it in a 65-degree room, and so the room is 65, but it's actually 75 degrees
Right.
inside there, because the yeast's getting with it.
Get with it. Huh?
Yes, they get jiggy with it. What's
Stop
that?
moving.
Yeah, it does that.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does it. It broadcasts the whole time. It's still going. Like if you look over here,
Yeah.
Right.
on the monitor, even though it's like three seconds lag, it's still moving. But the HAP screen freezes after a certain point. Fortunately, there's an incredibly good-looking person on the HAP screen, so.
Wow.
I gotta wash my hands because they're sticky because we have liquid malt.
Liquid malts.
Hate sticky. Hate it.
Not sure how many ounces are in here. It feels about like 2. Doesn't say. Well. So yeah, these are the hop packets. It's pre-measured and, you know, vacuum sealed up.
Hop 2, hop 1.
Both of them are Cascade hops in this case. So it should have a kind of a standard hoppy flavor. You know.
Well, the IBU is only 40, 41.
Right, so it won't be very bitter or malty.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be have a little hoppy finish. You know,
You are right.
but it
man.
should
It's kinda
be
cold.
kind of crisp, actually. I think.
What's that?
Or just talking about the hops, and both the packets are Cascade hops. This feels like about 2 ounces in here compared to some of the other hop packets we've used.
Really?
Now, I didn't say on the recipe list what the actual hop measurement was,
Well, maybe it's by weight and not by volume.
but Oh, usually, well, no, it's usually by ounces. Your little hop pellets like this, it's half ounce, you know.
You're right. This one just says 1 and 2.
So
Maybe they
but
put too
I
much
think
hops in
this
there.
beer, the intention of this beer, it's gonna have kind of a hop finish, where it's not gonna be bittery or like hoppy, where you're like, oh, you know, like an IPA. But it's definitely gonna have a little bit of a hop, you know, flavor to it.
How do you think it will compare with Mirror Pond?
Mirror Pond? I don't know. I think Mirror Pond's gonna be a little more hoppy than this.
Oh.
Yeah. I like Mirror Pond.
I like Mirror Pond. You know, but us saying I like doesn't mean
I know.
anything.
It doesn't mean anything. It's all relative, you know.
Well, it's like
Personal
it's
preference.
like no, it's not even personal preference. That's the thing. It's like, do you like this? Yes, I
Yes.
like it.
I like it.
How about this? I like it. How about this? I like it.
I like it.
How about this? I like it.
We want
Seven
pizza. It
thousand
doesn't
five
matter.
hundred and fifty-two beers later. How about
I
this?
like it.
I like it. How about this?
It's
I
like it's
it.
like the other day when you said, "What do you want your pizza?" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
I'll eat anything. You know. Thank you, military, for destroying my palate. You know.
Is it raw rice with ketchup and mustard? No? Well, then it's probably pretty
It's
good.
probably good then. Yeah. Yeah.
I had that once. That was dinner
Yeah.
for like a week. I mean, it was undercooked. It was technically cooked rice, but it wasn't cooked well.
Yeah.
And there was nothing
Oh,
to put
yeah.
on it except little single servings of ketchup and
What was
mustard.
this, sear training?
No, this was like on the carrier, mid
Yeah,
rats.
we were on the carrier mid rats. We were in
Mid-shift.
condition zebra, so it was totally condition zebra means you're at battle stations. So, chow was miserable. I was trying to get to the chow
Yeah,
line.
it was 100%
Uh,
food is fuel.
Yeah,
That's it. It's like, do you have this in a pill that I can just like
it's a pill.
pop some water and then go? Because eating this is a bad experience.
Yeah. They served rice, which was very
Undercooked.
undercooked.
So it's
It was
crunchy.
very crunchy, and there was supposed to be this product that goes on top of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure. I think it was supposed to be barbecue something or another, some kind of mystery meat. But you know, it looked kind of like this, the sauce, but it had little chunks of something in it that I think it was gristle actually. we were in the Persian Gulf, so
Of course. Oh, man, we were eating once.
and there was water. All we drink was water. That was it.
Really?
Water in paper cups. Yeah.
Holy cow! Did your suppo get fired? I hope.
No, we were in zebra, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's still. It's just, I mean,
It's
I
bad.
don't know. Yeah, that is bad. I never went through that. Although we were once eating chow. It was like lunch. The guy across from me had green beans, right? And he's like eating these green beans. He's like, "Oh, what is this? This is horrible." And he spits it out. It was the end of a snake's tail or a lizard's tail or something.
Oh, I found tomato worm in my salad once. We actually had salad.
And he was like, I'm not very hungry
Never
anymore.
mind. Yeah, poor dude, man. I know what that feels like. We actually had salad for once. I was like, ooh, it was on the Enterprise. And I'm all happy and taking a bite. He's like, this is bittery. What is this? A freaking caterpillar, like, in my salad, man. Done.
I think I'll go back to work now. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
The
work.
replicators were clearly not functioning.
I know. I didn't say caterpillar. I said crouton.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think I ate the rest of my meal, but I didn't eat the salad though. I was just like, nope.
Well, that is military, where you can like just take the part that's revolting and just and keep going with the rest.
Yeah, I'll eat my crunchy rice.
Yeah. Hey, hand me some of that sauce. The mystery stuff.
Mystery sauce. Is that supposed to be barbecue? Yeah, that one.
That's the one. Give me some of that. Yeah, there's some really bad meals. I remember we had one supper that just could not figure it out.
Didn't get it, huh?
Yeah, it's just like you just run out of ketchup and just like, and then we'd have like plenty of ketchup, and the next on rep, revert rep, we'd get like 50,000 pounds of ketchup. It's like we have plenty of ketchup, but what we're out of
We
is
have
this.
50,000 pounds of ketchup.
We have nothing to put the ketchup
I know,
on.
right? We need more rice, apparently, for our ketchup.
What's dinner today? Ketchup in a cup. There you go.
Oh, that and some hot water, man. You got tomato soup. Put in the crunchy rice.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
You know, on the GW though, you know, we're talking about people, right? Not talking about food. On the GW, we once had a CS staff that really tried. They failed. I mean, because limited resources.
Right.
But they really did try, you know. And there's just some training things that they just, like, they put out fresh cheeses and stuff. It's great. At
But-
95 degrees, you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
put slices of cheese next
Fondue.
to each other.
Man,
Yeah.
fondue.
I mean, just,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, fortunately, I like cheese. So I'd use the little tongs, which always bent because they were woefully inadequate. Right? I just, like, and eventually I'd use my fork. And I'd pry out, like, a half-pound chunk of cheese, take it with me.
Counts as one, right?
This works for me. I like cheese. I'll eat it straight, you know? But they did. They tried really hard. And then we had some where the suppo. I was on the Vincent, man, and the suppo was just, man, he sucked. That's where we'd run out of mustard. We'd have 5 tons of ketchup, and we'd get ketchup. It's like, we're out of mustard. Why didn't you order mustard? Right?
184 degrees.
What's a suppo?
Supply officer.
Okay.
He's the guy that's in charge of all of the supplies, like the food. That's his job. And
He's not necessarily part of the cooking staff or the
No,
culinary
No, he's like the
specialist, but
executive.
They say
Yeah.
we need this, and he's supposed to tick it off.
Right.
yeah, he's supposed to make it all happen, and this guy didn't. This guy ran out of coffee.
You can't do that on a ship,
Oh.
dude.
It's amazing that he made it back.
You can't do that.
It's like, we had energy drinks, and you got all these crusty chiefs going, if I find the suppo, I'm throwing them off the ship.
I find this guy.
I think that guy stayed in his stateroom for like months.
Right. Open his little door. Who's safe to come out?
One person
Run to
who
the
had
shower
pity
real
on
quick.
him, please bring me something to eat. I can't leave.
Chiefs are gonna kill me.
Not just the chief's mess. They won't do that. The CMC of the ship is on their side. Oh man, you
Oh,
are
you're done,
done,
dude. You're
You better
toast.
keep that door locked.
You're toast.
You might want to email your wife right now. Yeah, that guy was just, man, he had no clue.
Maybe he was new.
How long did it take them to refit the Vincent?
Refit. You
What's-
mean like after like going to dry dock and
Yeah.
put?
It's usually like an 18-month period.
Yeah, it's usually like I mean they didn't do major mods. It's not like they did big modifications to the Vincent. When I was on the Vincent, we still had steam powered catapults and all that fun stuff. It's a nuclear carrier,
Yeah.
you know.
You told me he was pretty beat up.
Oh my goodness! If you went below the 3rd deck, you were quite certain you were going to sink. All right, it's from my friend Steve. So that's
beer.
I'm good for now.
Are you okay? Well, that's
I want to know what we're going to do for dinner.
I gotta slow down.
Dad, we're brewing beer. Dinner is not important at this point. I don't know. I'm brewing beer.
Okay. I
Multitasking leads to multi-errors. You're gonna end up with like
no. Stay focused. Stay focused.
India Pale Ale spaghetti. All right. It's India Pale Ale with spaghetti. Great. India Pale Ale spaghetti. Not so good.
Pour the beer. There's noodles in there. Like, what is this?
What is this?
IPA spaghetti. Duh.
Actually, how about spaghetti? You might have to run into town and get gluten-free spaghetti.
That's what I was
Well,
thinking.
you could do
What
that.
is she talking about?
How are you feeling about that? And what would you want?
I'm feeling cold.
I'm not feeling anything.
You
I'm
may
numb.
go inside. You don't have to stay. But
Okay.
what do you think about spaghetti? Does that work for you? Let's do spaghetti.
What do we have? All right, I'll go
What's-
check.
Well, so the nice thing about spaghetti is you run into town, you buy everything, you come back 20 minutes later, you're eating.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Are you leaving?
Just check the inventory.
We probably don't have anything.
There is a big floater in there.
What is it?
I think it's just grain chunks.
Chunks of grain.
It's funny, the same one just kind of kept surfacing as it's moving. You know.
Right.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, obviously we're getting close, but it's taking a while.
Crank it up, dude.
195, 194. Thing is, I don't want to overshoot it. You know, I want to kind of keep it controlled. But I'll crank it a little bit.
Well, the thing about the boil, though, is that, well, there is that whole thing about keeping your boil to the time. Because of that, whatever it is, the processes, there's a scientific term
Right.
for the processes relating to, like, how bread gets crusty, the browning of bread and stuff.
Right. You take it out because it keeps baking still, even after you take it out. Yeah.
So those processes, because we talked about that, that's one of the reasons you cool it down, because the beer keeps cooking.
Right.
And the boiling itself, that just won't
Speaking of-
sit there.
Oh, we got an hour. What am I thinking of?
Yeah, we have more than an hour because we haven't even hit the boil yet. But
Yeah, I'll get that wort chiller ready as soon as we get the hops in there. The first hops.
that works for me.
The second hops is 5 minutes at 5 remaining, so we got plenty of time. Any new words or comments from anybody?
No, the last time, Ed Windsor said, yeah, man, you don't know how exhausting when you know on your real name you have money, but you can't touch it before go to Europe.
Okay.
You still there, Ed?
I wonder if where else are you seeing the chats?
Oh, I see him right here.
Okay, because I know our stuff froze up on the laptop.
Yeah,
But obviously
that's
we're
why
still
I'm
broadcasting.
monitoring on my phone.
I know we're still broadcasting because I can see the audio level bouncing over there on the small one.
Yeah, we're still doing this, but
That's aroma.
I think it smells good. I love brewing beer.
Well, what's funny was when we first started, I didn't really smell much. I'm like, man, during the initial
Because the
season.
wind's at me.
Oh no, I think the malts have helped kind of give it some more aroma to me.
Yeah.
During the steepiness with the grains, I didn't really get much of a aroma from it.
I think we're doing all right, though.
Yeah, I think it's good, man. As we, for any of you brand new to this, it's a sit and wait game. So.
Oh. I was reading something.
Oh, do tell.
I wish I could, but I've forgotten what it was. It was something interesting, too.
You're like, I was reading something, but I don't
It's
remember
really
what it is.
disappointing. And I'm sure.
Get ready with the weather.
Really?
I think it's allergies as well, man. I have hay fever, so
Well, yeah, it is
not to the point where I
season.
take anything for it, but I just during this time of the year, even when it's like this, I still get kind of sniffly,
So I did see a random tweet on my Twitter feed, and it was this big jug of bugs. Cicadas, because Brood X is coming out. Have you heard of Brood X?
Never have
X Brood?
No.
All right. Apparently, there's like several different species of cicadas.
Okay.
Like the ones that stay underground for 17 years and then come out and mate and then die.
Wow, that's a long time to hang on the ground.
Yeah, they're kind of like salmon. But in any case,
They're
this is like the 17th year, and it's Brood X. And so apparently you can eat cicadas. Kind of like shrimp, but from underground instead of
They're
underwater.
air shrimp.
Air shrimp. Yes.
Air shrimp.
Air shrimp.
You can eat cicadas, huh?
That's what they say. They say the best way to get them is you've got to get them before they actually harden up when their shells harden. And apparently, like there's like a few hour period from the time that they come out of the ground until when their shells
Shed the
harden.
exoskeleton thing.
Yeah. Apparently you can get them, and apparently you can like deep fry them or do various things. And one guy even made cicada beer.
What the heck, man?
We should probably look that up. Let's do this right now.
It's interesting because where I'm from, cicadas are all over the place at the right time of year. And
Is
I remember
it every year or just
every
the
year,
right time?
man. Every year.
So there's different breeds.
Yeah,
of
the ones
cicadas.
where I'm from originally, yeah, they're annual. They come out of the ground, they climb up the trees. You'll find their little exoskeletons stuck to the trees,
How big are they?
like this big.
No, so the cicadas we're talking are like this big.
Well, the exoskeleton is that big, but I don't know what they grow into once they shed it. Once they shed it, they're a grub essentially. Once they shed that skeleton, they might grow larger because they fly, and then you'll hear them all summer long going, you know, they just have this buzz that they do all year long during the daylight hours. Now, if you get too close to the tree and they see you, they'll stop buzzing. It's kind of funny. You throw up hiding in a tree somewhere.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I was reading about it, and all sorts of. All a buzz, cicada beer, home brewing with cicadas. Here we go. All right,
Over 200, so
we should be hitting boiling soon.
yeah, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so we have a little more control.
So this is from homebrewersassociation.org, which we visited this website many
Oh, yeah, I
times.
think that's the National Homebrewers. I think that's who they are, man. I can't remember for sure.
Okay, so in Washington, D.C.,
Oh, yeah, I'm getting some activity, so we're going to...
every 17th
Can I get-
spring
Sorry, man.
belongs
Can I get
to
your,
the
can I get your
cicadas.
knife? We're starting to get a little... I want to get ready.
Yep,
Because
absolutely.
we're going to have to pull this off the fire real quick here. I think what we'll do is lift it up off the fire. We'll put the hops in. And then put it back on the fire. What do you think?
Sounds good. Just make sure we don't boil over.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We'll lift it off real quick once we start getting that boil.
Yeah, you're right. We're getting some motion there.
And I'm going to turn it down a little bit to give us a little bit more control. Some motion lotion, as one of my old man offers, he used to say for a fuel replenishment. Almost sounds dirty. Thank you, sir.
It does. It does. Hey, Dad, we're talking about cicada beer. What do you think? Okay. I see. Sit down. Read to us about the cicada beer.
Ooh, that's something good.
Yeah, so the next part is not boiling it over, which we've done many times.
No, bad idea.
You just start right there.
Oh, foot's got- that's fine.
Because it's like
Oh,
every
the birds
17th spring belongs to the cicadas. We're not talking about your garden variety annual cicadas whose chirping can be heard on sultry July and August evenings. No, these cicadas belong to a species nicknamed brood X. Most of their existence is spent underneath the earth, sucking the sap from tree roots. In the 17th year of their lives, they emerge in immense hordes, as many as 1 million insects per acre.
Smell that.
Wow.
Oh!
O'Reilly,
3 pellets. 3 pellets.
take one away.
That one back. Okay. It's initiation time.
I have
You have to. But we'll do it with you.
You must eat the pellets.
I'm not gonna lie, this is not a pleasant experience. 1, 2, 3, go.
It's not terrible, but
Why?
not too bad, actually.
Why am I? Wait, what do you think?
Chaser.
I got a chaser, man. I don't care.
Whoa,
wow.
yeah. Bitter.
Yeah, right at the end.
Yeah. You know, maybe we could have just given him one and like pretend.
No.
Oh, it's good.
Whoa. Jeez.
Come on.
Okay. They emerge in immense hordes, as many as 1 million insects per acre, and metamorphs into adults, 1.5 inch long black bugs with red eyes and gold-laced veins in their wings.
Could you turn up the fire just a little bit? Just give it. There. That's good. That's good.
For a few weeks in May and June, they engage in a frenzy of mating to propagate their species, buzzing annoyed pedestrians and littering the streets and sidewalks with their squashed carcasses. Their mating call High-pitched whine said to resemble the sound of phasers in the original Star Trek.
Interesting description.
Can drown out conversations. Then they disappear just as suddenly as they arrive, leaving behind their larva to begin the cycle again. A few folks draw inspiration from the insects. One musician composed a symphony in their honor. The Washington Post in an article titled Cicadas, the Other White Meat, describes the joys of munching on cicadas sauteed in butter. One Arlington, Virginia home brewer even brewed a bug beer. This is not right.
There should be. There's a recipe somewhere there. Right, cicada ale. Got that. Oh, did we just wait? Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down.
Yields
Right.
12
Lift.
gallons.
Lift.
Oh, hold on.
Lift.
Okay, you can actually help, Dad.
What?
Stir just a little bit while I hold this off the flame. So we're trying to avoid is an explosive boil over, which happens every so often. Go ahead, just throw it
Yeah,
in
we're
there.
good now. Yep. All right, sweet. All right. Back on the fire. I'm going to turn down a little bit to. Oh yeah, that was good hot. Good hot. All right, timer starting. 1 hour. 1 hour later.
That was very SpongeBob.
It was supposed to be.
Well, you succeeded. All right, I'll take over for you. Okay, here we go. This is exciting. Who wouldn't want to drink a beer made from a bug like this? Tell me when it's actually on the screen. I'm pretty sure.
An inch and a half long.
You just say up.
Red eye. Black bug, red
You just
eyes.
handed me your phone.
I know, so you're supposed to.
And now on the screen.
Can I see it?
I think so. Yeah,
All right. Can you see
I
it?
can see it just fine.
All right. So that's the bug that they make beer out of. Kind of crazy.
Are we done stirring?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. We're just preventing the boil over because it happened to us before.
Yeah, we've had Steve
That was fine.
beer. Mainly all over Steve's sidewalk, so it wasn't too
Oh!
Look at that. We got a nice roll. Yeah, what we want to achieve at this stage is a rolling, smooth boil, not an aggressive, like you're
Right.
rolling
Rolling,
macaroni
not
or something.
roiling.
Yeah,
Rolling, not whirling.
just like this, where it just keeps a little bit of motion, but
What?
You're not
one
rolling.
L makes the whole difference, or what?
Mm-hmm.
it does, doesn't it? An L and an
One
I.
L and less than I.
Change that I to an L or the L to an I. It's a completely different experience. I'm
There
telling
we
you.
go. That's ideal.
Class
right
2
there.
rapids versus class 5. That's what we're talking. All right, so here we go. How could you not want to drink what I'm about to describe? This is Cicadale.
Cicadale.
Cicadale. Cicadale. So cicada ale.
Ale with cicada.
Ale with cicadas. ABV 7.31%. After 3 or 4 of these, you won't know you're drinking beer made with cicadas. IBU 92.7. So it's actually pretty hoppy. Original gravity 1.081 and final gravity 1.026. Here we go. Yield 12 US gallons. The following beer
What?
recipe, yes. The following beer recipe is featured in the November-December 2004 issue of Zimmergy magazine.
Oh yeah.
Access this
I'll
issue
buy that
along
magazine
with the
again, then.
archives of Zimmergy online. This may just be the most unique homebrew recipe you've come across yet. Yeah, I think so.
I see that.
Oh, I was telling your dad that. Perfect.
Oh,
that
yes.
boil is perfect right there.
All right.
Textbook.
If you haven't picked up from the name, Cicadale incorporates cicadas, an insect that emerges in parts of the U.S. of the world every 17 years in the boil. To learn more about brewing beer with cicadas, check out this article, which is actually from the article we got to hear. Here we go. 36.75 pounds, 2-row pale malt. This has got to be all grain.
Yeah.
4 pounds Munich malt, 2 1/4 pounds Cara Munich 40, 3/4 of an ounce Centennial hops with 10.5% alpha. What was that? AAUs, right?
AAUs, yeah.
Right. And that's at the 60-minute mark. Quarter ounce Northern Brewer hops, 9% alpha acid at the 56-minute mark. Wow.
So this is hoppy.
It is hoppy, but it's like bitter. But
Yeah.
adding that much hops at the beginning, I mean, all the hop flavors are going to be gone.
Right. It's good. Those are the bittering hops. You know, the first
Yeah.
hops are the bittering hops. Yeah, it's gonna have a bittering agent, definitely.
Quarter ounce Cascade hops, 5.75% alpha acid at 52 minutes. 3/4 ounce Mount Hood hops at 48 minutes.
They must be trying to mask the flavor of the bugs then.
That's, I
Adding
mean,
that much hops
really.
to it, you know.
Centennial hops at 46 minutes. Northern hops at 42. Cascade hops at 38. Mount
Doesn't
Hood
matter
hops
what
at
you
34.
started with. The cicadas are gone by that.
This is hop soup.
Seriously, man.
Wow. Northern Brewer hops Cascade, Mount Hood, Centennial, Northern Brewers Cascade, Mount. That hop schedule is stupid crazy.
It is. That's a little weird.
And then you put Czech Saaz hops at 0 minutes. And then 1
But wait,
quart.
there's more.
1 quart of cicadas, about 75 insects. And
That's it.
White Labs English Ale yeast.
Okay.
All right, let's continue reading. Dough in at 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Saccharification rest temperature at 90 minutes, 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Mash out rest temperature is 165 degrees. Sparge temperature 170 degrees, 20 minutes. Boil for 90 minutes. At 60 minutes, begin the hop schedule.
I am going to have to use the yard. Leave your mother is in the bathroom.
Okay? That's why it's good to be a man.
Well, I thought I heard like the bathtub was running, so maybe she's getting ready to take a bathroom shower or something.
Well, yeah. we've been
Oh
working
yeah,
hard,
yeah.
so-
Nana's taking a shower. Find a bush.
On the bush.
Welcome to the most professional broadcast this side of
I
the
know,
Columbia
right?
River. All right, so sparge temperature, boil it for 90 minutes. At the 60-minute mark, you start adding all those hops at the different minutes, right? Ferment at 65 degrees Fahrenheit, both primary and secondary. Primary fermentation takes 3 weeks. Secondary fermentation takes 6 to 7 weeks. Wow, that's a long time for an ale. Doesn't even say when to add the ales, when to add the bugs.
Ha. Let's say the quart of bugs.
that after all the hops?
It didn't say. I'm going to say you add the bugs at the beginning? Dough in at 165 degrees. I don't know what that is.
Is that rolling well?
Let me see. Yeah, that really is just about perfect. It's moving, it's constantly stirring itself, but it's not like overly violent.
It ain't bubbling up.
Yeah, it's not like popping out of there or anything. Not gonna lie, Steve, I want to taste this beer now.
What? The cicada beer?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't want to make it because this is kind of stupid expensive. I mean, seriously, all those hops? That's a lot of hops.
yeah.
And then I think you're absolutely right, though. I think it's just hiding the flavor of the bugs, which is like, if you're hiding the flavor of the thing that you're putting in there, that's kind of dumb. Do you know what dough in means?
No, I do not recall that.
So this is an all-grain recipe. It says dough in at 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Where's the hose, man?
Uh-oh. Is the hose missing?
No.
Tell you what, is it there?
I think so.
Are you sure? Nope, that's not it. Here, come watch the boil and entertain our many viewers, and I'll go get the hose.
Okay,
I know where it is.
guys. I wanted to get the wort chillers ready.
We should probably
And then
buy
clean
like
it.
a cheap 10, 20-foot hose.
I'll be right back. Okay. Whew, that's a good boil. It smells good.
It does.
And we wait again. We watch things boil. Yeah, I figured during this hour is a good time to start prepping for the final stages.
Which is
Well, we'll get the hose set up so we can get the wort chiller all, ready to go. That needs to be rinsed and scrubbed down a little bit. The fermenter that's inside, excuse me, that's inside sanitizing, we'll get that rinsed and ready to go.
oh, okay.
And then we don't do that on camera. That's it. We just kind of use the boil as our time to talk to everybody and goof off and have fun. And then once we finish the boil, we pretty much end the broadcast at that point. One day we might actually do a broadcast that shows all the steps, but
It sounds like it gets pretty active and moving around a lot.
yeah, you got to have. I mean, that carboy's ready. There's water in it. There's a funnel on top. I mean, it's just there's a few things we need to do. And with the camera setup pretty much being immobile in a sense,
Yeah.
it's easier just to do all that after broadcast.
So your nephew actually checked in, and then whoever this other guy from Ireland or trying to get back to Ireland or whatever is just.
So we didn't. He wasn't the one we thought was our nephew. It was the other person on there. Knows the sub something.
So yeah,
We thought he might have been my nephew, which he says he's in Idaho.
seems not.
But he hasn't said anything since. He probably got bored with this. So it's
Yeah,
fine.
he probably got bored.
It happens. I'm sure Edward is gone too. Our Irish friend here.
Oh yeah.
He hasn't said anything in a while. Yeah. Some of the broadcasts we don't even get anybody on, but that's fine. Let me see if there was a notification for. I don't see anything else for apps. So. All right. Well, now we just sit and wait as usual.
Sit and wait.
So we're about 48 minutes left in the boil. When we're down to 5 minutes left, we'll add the second pack in, and this will be the flavoring, more of the flavoring hops,
Uh-huh.
flavoring aroma. This is what's going
I'm
to
not going to eat another time.
No. That was just
Good.
a one-time thing because you were.
Thank you.
Do the
Yeah,
show,
the initiation, I get it.
Yeah, I did it to Jamie too. I was like, you got to eat this, man.
It's a horrible experience. Both times.
Because-
Pretty much.
Because the guy that taught me brewing, or at least kind of not really taught me, but he did teach me a lot. The guy that opened my eyes to it and introduced me to it, he made me eat one. So I'm like, ooh, I'll do the same thing for Jamie.
This is like, what do they call that in the Navy when you cross the equator first time?
Oh,
Turtleback or whatever.
Shellback. Yeah.
Shellback.
Shellback. Yep. We all became a shellback at one point, Now we're hopsback or whatever.
Or hopsback. Yay! I made it. What? I'm almost 70. Like I care.
Right.
I'm drinking beer.
Drinking beer, hanging out.
My son and other son. This is good. That's cold.
It is cold. It is June and we're cold. What is wrong with
this?
this?
Not right.
What is wrong with this? It's been overcast. It rained a little earlier. Yeah. That's right there. I'd rather it be this than just too hot, honestly.
That's just smoking.
Yep.
I'm sitting here in the steam with my glasses.
This is going right at you.
They fog. Clear up, they fog. Okay. I'm just gonna live with it.
Like, I'll just take it for now.
What's happening? You
Doing
know.
good on time. All right. Yeah, we used to do kind of not really scripted, but we would. What's up?
I'm wondering if this hose is going to be long enough.
I think it'd be fine. We'll just take the wort to it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, it'll be fine. As long as it reaches the deck thing here, I think we'll be okay.
What's left of the sidewalk?
What's left of it?
Boardwalk.
Hey, I'm working on it.
Yeah. When we first did it, the first few broadcasts, we used to kind of try to choose a topic, brewing related topic, and we would. The idea was we would research it before the broadcast. Neither one of us had the time to do that, And so we would end up just kind of sitting here and looking it up as we were talking about it. We would bring up some kind of brewing topic, talk about hops, we talk about yeast, or we talk about what could happen to your beer if you don't clean or whatever, just different brewing things. But we kind of, I don't think we've exhausted the topic by any means, but we just kind of stopped doing it that way. Well, we noticed,
So let's go ridiculous.
well, we noticed we have more fun doing it that way, just kind of talking about whatever comes up, and sometimes we can just go way away from the brewing area,
What's the last cat say?
That's Ed Windsor. He says, "Yeah, man, you don't know how is exhausting when you know on your real name you have money, but you can't touch it before go to Europe."
Are you from Russia? Your syntax. What do they call it?
Syntax.
Syntax is like really foreign. Okay, really foreign. Like not even close to American.
Maybe he speaks Gaelic.
Maybe, but they still would make more sense than the way you're writing it.
We follow a guy. His name is Cyberbeer.
No, Cyberbeer?
Cyberbeer.
Oh!
Actually, he's pretty cool.
I have
He's
no
from the
idea.
90s? What? I don't know when he's from. He looks like he could be from the 90s. He's a little older than us. But he drinks a lot of beer. Like he tastes beer.
Oh, is that the guy that's always drinking it? The older guy that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, the reason I say the 90s because nobody uses cyber in their names anymore, you know what I mean? That was a 90s thing when internet was new.
Yeah, everything was cyber.
Internet, actually, not the internet, but the web was new. The internet was long before the web, actually.
Yeah.
Right. But the web itself, yeah, everybody used cyber this, cyber that, That's why I was curious. Like, he must be from the 90s.
When did the internet show up? 60s?
1970. No. Well, Unix, we call it Epoch, was January 1970. But I think it was 1969, I believe, was the first computer like transmission they achieved.
Yeah, from
You know what I mean? I think the internet,
University of Ohio's basement
Kind
to
of thing,
University
yeah.
of Wisconsin's basement.
Where?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
But I don't know the exact.
No,
I wanna
That's
say-
impressive, man. Where'd you come? Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
That's somewhere in the middle of the United States.
It's like Wisconsin, but with a
It's
Scottish.
kind of like Midwest,
influence.
but not.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Illinois,
It's a town.
Iowa.
Okay, so look, everyone knows that Wisconsin has a heavy Nordic accent.
Does it?
Influence. Absolutely. Okay, maybe not, but I know Minnesota does.
Minnesota.
And they're close to Wisconsin, so it's just there must be bleed over.
Oh, yeah, lots of it.
All right, but apparently there was a group of Scottish people that moved to Wisconsin in 1947, and they started a very small university. Are you buying this? This is true. This is solid truth. They started the University of Wisconsin. Okay, I'm done. I've tried. I mean, come on.
So I think the origins of the
Thank
word
you.
Try that a
internet.
little bit.
I'm
but
working on it, man.
Your uncle David can spin a tale like Bill Cosby, and 15 minutes later you think it's gospel, and then he starts laughing at you.
You're like, oh,
Oh,
got it.
no,
This is absolutely true.
He is a master of leading you on and on, and then looks at you like, you dumbass, you actually believe that.
Bought it. Oops. Early 70s, Danny, was where the
Anyways,
network world began. Was
Yeah,
early
I
70s.
knew that.
With-
It was
with-
somewhere in there.
Military and colleges or universities,
Yeah,
and
but
then expanded to banking a little bit later. It didn't become public until about 1986, 87 with
Al Gore,
CompuServe.
right?
Who?
Al Gore?
I don't know if he was the one that
Al
flipped that
Gore.
I know who he is. I don't know if he's the one that flipped that switch or not, but I know like the first public ISP was like CompuServe.
That's a joke because he said that he invented the internet.
Oh, well, he's full of shit. He didn't invent the internet.
Family show.
Hey, PG, you can get away with one. As per the American rating system.
And one F-bomb.
No,
No,
PG
don't go to
13.
the F. Don't
No,
even.
we're not.
No, we're talking about this.
I know
This
what
is
we're talking
academic
In
stuff.
PG-13 movies, you're allowed one F-bomb, but it can't actually have a sexual connotation.
Right. So it can't be about F-bombing.
Oh,
Right. But you're allowed one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie without sexual connotations. You're in a PG, you're allowed one S-bomb. You know, kind of like Holly did it.
Yep.
You know, but that's it, though. Just one.
Really?
As per
pretty,
the MPA.
pretty detailed and specific,
I-
man.
I
That's where
looked-
you live.
I looked it up one time because I'd heard it somewhere else. I'm like, no way. And I'm like,
It actually makes sense.
sense.
So, yeah, I remember in high school, some of our geekier math students got all excited about Yale University would share, you could buy or whatever, the high school, various high school or the bigger high schools could get a certain amount of time, and all these kids would do all their punch cards.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
right.
and then the next step up was the tape. It was about an inch wide tape on a roll, but you'd have all these little holes and slots in it.
Uh-huh.
You know, so it's the same idea as the cards. And you know, it was like, hi. That was it. I mean, that's what they said with, you know,
But it was like
5,000 cards. It went,
1,000 cards.
hi. Like, whoa.
But you know what's crazy though? Here's what's crazy. Is like we're making fun of that, right?
I know, I'm all fogged up.
We all fogged up, man.
I'm taking
I
them
was
off. I don't
laughing
need to wear these things.
I think your dad's getting the worst of it, man. It's
Oh,
going
I
yeah.
know, fogged up.
I'm in and out all
And I guess just what's interesting is like think about 90 years from now, when this is a hologram on someone's table or something,
right.
and they're laughing at or when everybody has access to technology that makes all their broadcasts super smooth and cool, and it's just like, and they'll be laughing about what we're doing right now. You remember the times when they had to wait for a text message?
I think it was my grandparents era. They were born, their great grandparents, born in the 1880s, late 80s, 90s. That's
a little
when
while ago.
we were just kind of going through that, because my mom and dad both 21, born in 21, and Nana's mom and dad, they were 3-4 years apart, but they were late 20s, 30, 31, something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like born into the Depression?
Yeah,
Right. I
on
think the
heels of
Depression
it,
was what,
right?
29?
Yeah.
Was that the
29 to
Depression?
That's when it started.
We can look it up.
Anyway,
But we won't.
but they
It's not that
went
important.
from pre-electricity, pre-radio,
Oh, yeah.
pre-flight, pre-telephone communications, radio and telephone, and then not even hadn't even touched the jet or the rocket age or any. I mean, they're just coming off of steam power in the very first, stabs at Barney Old's Oldsmobile and Henry Ford,
Right.
internal combustion. Most everything was steam or horse
Yeah.
powered.
True.
And your quickest communication was what? What do you call it?
Oh, Morse code, maybe?
Telegram?
Yeah, telegrams.
Yeah.
And just the idea of just being able to send through Morse code.
Through the
or,
wire,
something,
yeah.
yeah, something through the wire. And actually, yeah, and old Edison hadn't invented, well, I guess maybe the light bulb or something.
Probably wasn't mainstream yet, though, right?
No,
I mean, the 20s it was. Light bulbs were around in the 20s.
yeah.
But,
See, yeah, and then recording
oh, yeah.
the whole thing, and they said that's going to be the end of all live music and stuff. There were lots of guys, lots of composers and major symphony patrons, and they were all super weirded out about recording.
This saw as a threat, yeah.
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 Well,
Super threat.
but you know what? Recording may have not affected like your hardcore musicians, like your live groups, right?
Oh, son.
I don't think. Yeah, a little bit.
Almost, yeah, not quite,
Right?
but there.
But you know what? You know what the radio has done is America doesn't sing anymore. Right?
Well, yeah,
Oh, like
they're
public
recording
singing?
more.
Well, think about it. So you
more
think-
television than radio, but yeah,
But
because
still-
families still gathered to listen to radio shows or to various musical performances, whatever. Television is kind of what killed because it's so passive.
Right.
You know,
Right.
with the whole visual thing.
You don't have to think. You just
So I mean, you look at that, and that was what 120, 140 years ago, when my grandparents were born, your great grandparents, and so it's like, wow.
All right, my kid's back.
got a mariachi over
They able
there.
to go to work or
Yeah, they didn't have to go. They didn't have to go far. I mean, it's just. What'd you clean today, kiddo?
The bathrooms, and we collect garbages.
It's not what I was asking, but okay. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Anyway, it's more along the lines of what businesses did you clean?
That's right. You didn't specify though.
You're right.
What
I
did
did.
you clean?
I did not. I did not. That's totally on me. So in any case, you were talking about just technological changes.
yeah, I mean those are huge, and then it's just accelerated all through the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
And the web and internet stuff, has gotten faster, but there hasn't been any major leaps like holographic communications.
Well, I
That
think
are true.
you are right. There haven't been any real game changers.
There's been improvements and progress, but nothing that like when the web actually started.
Right.
First, like you said, university, and then who? Government.
Government universities were the starters. Yeah.
Yeah, and that whole idea you could transfer, a lot of information or entire books or chapters or whatever, And
Well,
just-
I don't think. I think there has been. I think social media has actually changed the world.
Oh yeah, well yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that's going on like that.
I think if you're talking about technology, like actual immense jumps in technology,
There haven't
you're
been
right.
any
I mean, I think.
Well, the
not
one
big leaps, all sorts of little things, and they're still, impressive. Oh, Apple does that now. All
right.
Let us allow the Buddha to speak.
No. If you were to graph technological innovation, what's a line graph? It would be very slow and gradual, right?
Oh yeah.
Until about, we'll just say the 20th century.
Yeah.
And then it just almost grows exponentially.
Oh yeah.
Now,
almost
it's
ballistic.
kind of like, and then here we are in the 21st century, the second decade of the 20th century. We're not, I wouldn't say we're plateaued, but our slope is a lot
Yeah.
less,
It's a lot gradual.
lot more gradual. But where I think what's happening is a lot of these technologies have been developed, but they're not mainstream yet. They're not
There you go.
quintessential yet.
There you go. That's
Because it's either too expensive or it's just the world's not ready for it. And I don't mean like it's some super secret scroll thing. I just think some things have been figured out in labs, but they're just not ready to be put out.
So you mean like VR?
Well, no, VR's been around since the 80s actually, but it didn't become publicly usable or practical until in the last, we'll just say maybe 5 or 10 years. Where now you can buy headsets for your computers, your
Yeah, but it's
PlayStation.
not really still common. Because my kid Timo, he's a video game.
Well, right. What I'm saying is, 15 years ago, you didn't have Oculus and all those other and PlayStation VR. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true.
And so, but VR technology existed since the 80s, though. And so I think there's things that exist today that are just not practical yet for the mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is like, so we've got these technologies with all the computer stuff, but that only goes so far. All that is information, which information is powerful, but it is, and you're right, it's data, but I cannot eat a spreadsheet sandwich.
You cannot eat a spreadsheet sandwich, no.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot
you
of
could,
mayonnaise.
but that would probably
You
help.
gotta have beer
Well,
with
I
that.
think-
too, just
You might want to soak it for a couple
Yeah.
days.
What I
to
think
break
is
up the
happening
fibers.
with the most innovation right now, and I'm going to use a blanket term, and I'll explain once I say it, as the AI, artificial intelligence term. But I don't mean sentient computers like HAL 9000s, Hello Days. I don't mean like that, because so many people, like they've kind of twisted the AI name into what it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I say AI, I'm referring to things like what's called machine learning, which is predictive analysis, just mathematical analysis. Those are the kind of things that I think we're going to have a lot of good innovation to where weather prediction will improve.
It'd be tremendous. Tremendous byproducts, or what do you call it?
Disease spreading will improve, by mathematical models of machine learning.
Yeah.
Now,
Not yet.
the closest thing that we could have
I didn't
to a
say
HAL
no,
9000.
Not yet.
We're gonna have to go downstairs to get yours.
The closest thing we could have to like a HAL 9000 are what are called neural networks.
Sure.
Which even those are not sentient. I mean, by any means. I don't think we're gonna ever have a sentient computer. I would hope not.
When you start, and then you throw in the whole sci-fi gang. I mean, going all the way back to the 19th century.
Right.
What's his face? 50,000 Leagues Under.
Oh,
Jules
Verne, yeah.
Verne. Who's the other cat? There's another one that was way out front with stuff like that. But guys like that. But you take Isaac Asimov from the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I like his
multi-doctorate.
Oh,
degrees.
yeah.
I mean,
Smart
this cat
dude.
was unbelievably brilliant. And then he wrote the whole
Robot series.
the whole robot, and I mean, he was taking that whole IA, a sentient being.
Oh yeah, he took it to a new level.
To a whole, and that was back in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
So what is coming in the field of?
I don't think we're gonna have sentient computers in that sense. I just think we'll have.
I'm just saying, that just like Verne's.
Oh, right.
With a whole nuclear power.
Well, the problem is the problem with the whole sentient computer thing, right? Is that
we're not gonna have Skynet. We're not gonna.
Right,
have
well,
HAL,
see, here's the problem with those. The way we're thinking about them, because the way Hollywood portrays them,
exactly.
Yeah.
They portray them as
that way.
They portray them as malevolent,
Right.
and evil and wanting to destroy humanity because they don't like humanity.
Right.
So
Terminator?
yes,
Pretty much.
exactly. But
Skynet. Yeah.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. In the Terminator series, right, especially if you watch the last one, right, when they finally go back and destroy Skynet or whatever.
Supposedly, right?
Well, whenever they finally, apparently, no, not the last one, because I haven't seen the last one.
Which is the last one?
The last one is kind
Genesis? I've seen that one.
No, the last one is like a reboot, and it was kind of.
Oh, that's the one with.
My wife watched it and she didn't like it because
it has kind of an interesting coincidence in it. Because
Did they even use what's her face from the first movie?
yes, and
I
that
thought
was
that
that
was-
was
That was
its
the
whole-
big fight, is to get her back.
That was like its only saving
Linda
grace.
Hamilton.
It was
Yeah,
getting
that's-
Linda Hamilton back,
Yeah.
and that was really cool.
Yeah.
But the
It was
movie
nice that she
itself
reprised her role. Yeah.
was kind of like meh,
Yeah.
because they took
I
the
was
John
disappointed.
Connor character.
They made him evil, right?
Well,
Not
they
evil, but
I
they
don't know. I
made him-
haven't seen it. They like killed him, and then they brought a new female character in to replace his character.
And
They did.
that's the girl from Game of Thrones, Emilia Clarke. I
Okay,
think is the actress who played. No, she played Sarah Connor. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Amelia Clarke played Sarah
Yeah,
Connor.
in the latest movie, which I think is called Terminator Genesis.
Oh,
It's spelled with a Y, Genesis, which is
okay.
whatever.
Okay, artsy fartsy people are allowed to misspell things. It's a law. It's right in there in the CFR.
Anyway, they
It's a one-line
destroyed the
CFR.
sci-fi for the whole socio-economic or
The SJW.
yeah,
SJW
that
thing.
whole social justice.
Well, the problem is
doesn't matter.
they did the Star Trek thing. It's like, I'm sorry if you love Star Trek, but Star Trek just, it's like,
It wasn't.
it's like, well, let's be honest. This Star Trek line is dead. I know, we'll reboot it and we'll pretend it never happened, and now here's a new
We'll
one.
rewrite everything, but we'll just add a twist to it.
Yes. And we'll use a new actor. Yeah, there you go.
That's the bottom line.
I'm sorry.
Follow
I mean,
the money.
they have some really cool
But
special
Star
effects.
Trek has transporters.
And
Star
replicators.
Wars does not. They all got hyperdrive, subspace, yada yada, right? But Star Trek was all about the technical thing, and Star Wars was more the mystical and the
Right.
almost supernatural. And
So here's a question about transporters.
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 Trans.
Wisconsin.
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 He invented a new state.
Small Scottish town in Wisconsin. Wisconsin. So,
He's having too much fun with that one.
so metaphysics is what we're talking about. Transporters. So, when you get transported, did you die? And is the new thing that was on the other end?
Oh, that's the whole thing.
So,
Well,
like,
Dr. Bones, man.
your computer-
Leonard McCoy.
your computer crashes, right? This computer that we're using to broadcast, it crashes. But I managed to save all the data, and I put it on a new computer. Is it the same computer, or is it just a copy of the data that happens to keep functioning?
Tomato.
No, this is not tomato. This is metaphysics. So when you transport a person, you disconstruct.
Right. They're that you said you're broken down to the atomic level.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you kill them right there? And so their soul is done, and then you recreate a physical being,
Well,
and then it turns back on.
I think in the context of the movie, no. I think in the context of the movie, it's the same person every time because, or at least the show. You know. What
Well,
I mean?
yes, of course, in the context of the show,
Yeah.
because that would be a little
In
bit
real
dark.
life, I don't know. That's a hard question because it can't ever happen. You know what I mean?
Well, not yet. Didn't they transport an orange, or was that Tron?
You're
Who
thinking of
wrote?
Tron.
Who wrote? It's another scientist, another doctor, Michael Crichton.
Michael Crichton, yeah.
Did a whole. Didn't he do? He had 2 or 3 books, a series, where that same argument was presented. When you, or his perspective was from time travel, because they developed some sort of system, somebody, within his story, developed a time travel. They could go back in the past. And that's what your future past. That's your. But it was that whole thing where, some scientific physical thing. They were, and he was kind of using the what's the imaging? MRI. What's the other one? CAT-scan, MRI. That kind of concept of just splicing you down to, and so were you dead?
I'm in such a good
So-
place right now.
Oh yeah.
Here's an interesting addition.
But
to
I mean,
that question.
Crichton used that back in.
You're gonna get
what was
Oh
it,
no!
80s?
Right. There's a movie. I
No
forget the name of the
alcohol.
movie. Johnny Depp is in the movie. Probably not more than 7 or 8 years old. His character is like terminal, like cancer terminal, and the movie's probably maybe we'll say 5 years in the future. And somehow in the movie they develop a way to transfer his consciousness from his brain. He had electrodes and shit hooked up to him. Excuse me. And
That's the second one, baby.
I know, we're
And
not-
we are
Oh, man, we're up
PG-13.
to R-rated. Oh man.
and they somehow transferred his consciousness into a computer, and he was stored in a computer, and he was essentially he looked sentient, or he seemed sentient because he was just like, oh hey, I recognize you. But it goes to your question and yours as well, not your question but your statements about is he human anymore? And then the movie was very humanistic in that sense, where it was trying to explore that question. And in the end, I guess he would say he wasn't, because he almost seemed kind of that classic Hollywood AI bent on disruption thing.
That's
well,
the
yeah.
thing. They can only take.
But
They can only take that thing.
Right.
I mean, the writers can only, because at what point does the techno aspect actually,
Sure,
guys
sure.
who are actually steeped
Right.
super deep in quantum physics and
But
all that,
Oh, yeah.
deep computer kind of stuff, and the guys are saying we got to appeal to the normal guy that has no idea what we're talking about, or
we're gonna make it
concept.
simple. We're gonna make it simple.
Yeah.
So you remove all the sci-fi part of it, even though I guess all movie sci-fi, but that philosophical question about if he transferred his consciousness into some kind of computer system, is he still human? It kind of relates to what you said earlier. Is he still the same person?
Yeah,
I
or
think
is
the
he
movie, in a sense, is exploring that.
It's a completely new person that just has whole bunch of data plugged into the
It
brain.
was all data, yeah, because his body form died, whatever his terminal case
Right.
was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
back to Star Trek,
Uh,
old Bones, Leonard McCoy, don't die, don't
Oh,
die,
yeah.
it's gonna kill me, I
transferred
don't
his,
like.
his consciousness over.
And the thing is, would you know you had died
Yeah.
when they turned you back on, or would you? I mean,
know, yeah. That's a
you
good-
would really, because if you tore the hard drive out of this computer and threw it in a different box, it would think it's this computer, even though it's not.
No.
Interesting, huh? But let's get back to sentient AI, because that was the interesting thing.
Where's
Is
the
it-
boil at, by the way?
Oh, we're good. We got
We're good.
lots of time.
21 minutes.
Yeah. Although we do
You're
need
right.
to wash the
Yeah.
work chiller.
And we need to get the other stuff ready, too.
It's about time to get to work.
We should probably
Always.
get things prepped.
But this is interesting though. So Hollywood always gives
Carboy. We
These-
need to rinse the carboy.
yeah. Oh yeah, we knew need to do that. So Hollywood always gives these AI things these evil twists. So like even with the movie She, did you see that?
Yeah. With Joaquin Phoenix.
Which was actually it was kind of a fun movie, but
It was
kind of
interesting, yeah.
weird at the end. But it still it made these AIs human, right? It gave them like emotions and desires and things like that. And you don't need a machine to have emotions or desires for it to destroy the world. All you need is a machine to have a protocol that says preserve the machine,
Right.
identify threats, and eliminate the threats. And if humans are one of the threats,
It's going to eliminate.
it'll eliminate the humans. And then you'll just have a machine doing its thing, not caring ever.
Well, another question is, what's the algorithm that identifies the threats, though? How is that algorithm designed?
Right, but I'm telling you, there's some very smart people that are incredibly stupid.
Yeah, I know, I get it.
You know,
We'll make it do this.
or
no.
they just don't figure it out. Einstein invented the nuclear bomb. Probably not a good idea. No doubt that Einstein
Not
was
alone,
brilliant.
but yeah,
well, I know, not alone, but you could put a lot of the blame on him,
Sure.
right? Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm
The point
just
is,
saying.
the people who invented nuclear fission, brilliant people, and the people who said we can turn this into a weapon, not stupid people. They
Right,
knew things.
Right.
But the end result is like, wow,
That is
this
always-
is not
that-
something that,
that-
should be on
fight-
this
Just
planet.
because we can build it doesn't mean
Yeah,
we should.
that fight has been around.
And that's how I feel about
Forever.
sentient, computers. Like we
And
don't
which-
need to do that.
And this is why we should not make cicada beer.
Agreed. Wow, we circled back on that one.
Yeah, that came back good. That was good.
Freaking boomerang, baby!
All right.
Baby.
Time to get prepped.
Why is everybody going? And I'm,
Because you got a
We
lot
have
of work to
do,
do.
sir.
I'm going to sit here and entertain all you people that are not
No, you're
watching.
getting up and doing the work.
No,
Are
we're
you
not
not
doing
entertained?
Apparently they're not, because
Yeah,
they're not
oh, God.
commenting. Like, look, we can't all leave. Remember the whole guy? Hold on a minute. I'm gonna check. That was funny, by the way. That's an interesting story.
What?
Do you remember that, Mom?
What?
Watching television in Poplar, Montana, trying to get
That was
TV, and you found a
Move the
TV
camera
station,
over.
and the guy would move the camera to a different backdrop and then stand
Well,
up in
it's-
front of it.
I'm gonna handle the carboy, man.
Yeah,
I
you do
thought
that.
he actually was moving it, but he just said it was a one-man operation, and he dropped something. He just kept talking, disappeared under his desk. There was no extra help. There was
One guy doing it
one
all.
shot.
Which is
camera.
what's happening now because everyone's left and I'm just here because what really needs to happen is that work chiller needs to get washed.
I know.
Okay, loyal followers, we'll be back.
The sun came out.
Kinda.
Do. Work chiller, ho! This thing, Pat. This thing is amazing.
That's a lot. That thing, just the amount of copper you got in that.
We got,
That thing is expensive.
we got this for free.
I know. Kez was telling me this one and then that other coil system.
Yeah, they go together. And what you're supposed to do is you run the water through the first set of coils, and they should be in an ice bath.
Yeah, you get it as cold as you can, and then you run it through the work.
Right.
I gotta go to the back.
All right, you go do that. I gotta go to the bathroom. Anyways, this thing takes cooling the wort. It used to take 20 minutes to half an hour to get the wort down to like 80 degrees.
Uh-huh.
This thing does it in like 7 minutes.
Nice.
It is actually very impressive. Oh no, I dropped this one. One of the ways, don't worry, one of the things you can do is, actually, could you help me real quick?
Sure. What do I need to do?
Go over there and turn the hose on. The hose is over by those stinging nettles. Follow the hose and turn it on.
You need the hose?
Well, no, you can do that, but turn it on, please.
In the same metals.
Exactly. And then I'm gonna hold it like this. And you rinse it off a little bit. Let's get all the soap. Yeah, I think that's good right there. And then the other thing we can do,
Where'd Mama go?
she went right over there. She's just, turning the hose off for me. And then, what do we got? 13 minutes and 30. So then you take this, which is washed off, and you put it right into this.
Yeah.
And that does cool it down, so you got to get it back up to boiling again. But it doesn't cool it down a lot. So the nice thing is when you set it in there, it sterilizes it because you leave it for 10 minutes and then you're okay.
Yeah. As long as you get all the bleach and whatever rinsed off it.
Which we did.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's a lot of copper tubing. That stuff is not cheap.
No, it's not.
Hey, White, standing in the sun, it kind of feels good.
Like, right here. Or right there. Is this boiling? All right, faithful listeners, we're gonna sign off. Hey, Steve, let's come sign off real quick.
They have the official sign off. So what do you do with this work bag?
Give it to the chickens.
Huh?
Just tear it open and throw it over the fence. They'll eat it. They love it.
I'm about ready.
Think you're about ready?
Well, I think I have the carboy just about ready.
All right. Well, that's okay. Anyways, let's say goodbye. Oh, I should move over here so I can actually click things.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So, thank you for tuning in. If you did tune in, thank you for was Edward Windsor, Prince of Ireland, and for Sub for No Reason Please, and Silver Energizer, who might be the same person.
It's the same person.
We're pretty sure it's the same person. Wait, you know?
Oh, no.
But
I
a good
think
news. Okay. Anyways, it was lots of fun. We had a good time. We got another beer. It's gonna go in the keg. It'll be great.
Oh, yeah.
So relax.
Have a homebrew.